Hello. This is a mic check. This is a mic check. If you can hear me clearly, hit 1 and like the stream. If not, then I guess you just sit there, I guess. Wonderful, wonderful. If you think the music's too loud, hit 2. If you think it's not too loud, keep hitting 1. So I can know what's going on here. Make sure you have any scuff going in. I know. A microphone. Oh, music's too loud? Alright. Looks like in general everyone's alright. Bit of a larger crowd than usual, but you know what? I expected that. Alright. Everyone behave yourselves today. It's going to be a long stream. Welcome everyone to another one. Oh god, this wallpaper is actually worse on the eyes than I thought. That's bright. Okay, that's a little too much. I thought it'd be a little easier on the eyes. I guess I'm mistaken. 1 second, let me fix that. Welcome. While I'm fixing all that, welcome once again to another one of these streams. How's everyone's day so far? Make this a little less obnoxious. 1 second. I have a bunch of wallpapers. I'll switch it to something a little more. What do we got? Yeah, that works. Yeah, I'll go with this one. Yeah, no, a little too bright, a little too much shifting going around. Oh, I forgot the fucking light. Hang on a second. I knew I forgot something. 1 second. There's always a little scuff. No problems, though. No problems, though. Let's see if this goes well. I'm sure this won't go terribly at all. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's a little too bright. Too bright. Ugh, terrible. There we go. It's always something you forget. You set everything up a million times, you forget it.
3,885 super chatted $2. Looks like me at T's back on the menu, boys.
Meat's back on the menu. Yeah, no. It's never a good stream without a little bit of scuff. I do agree. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, no, I've got the light on. That's a problem. A lot of people are in chat, so a lot of people who aren't usually in chat here, so just to lay the land. If you act up, you're going to get timed out. That's how it is. Sorry. That's the rules. But I digress.
At user_225_CCC super chatted $1.99. I brought a salad to pair with the barbecue otter meat.
Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, no, we're gonna get we'll get into that. We'll get into the roast, I guess. What if we act down? Then I guess you just have a chill time and, enjoy yourself, I guess. I don't know tell you. Yeah, no, a lot of people are here. Probably a lot from other streams. This did get outside the average community, so I expect there to be some outside perspectives. Where do we even begin with this week? Everything on the chat being as obnoxious. Yeah, a lot of people are here for the drama, and we'll get to that. But I'm not really here just to talk about drama. Oh, sorry.
At Nick Wolf 3,885 super chatted $5. Beware, when fighting lol cows, you do not become a lol cow yourself.
Exactly.
4. When you meme into the abyss memes you also. Nietzsche, probably.
Yeah, Nietzsche I think had something to do with that quote.
At Errand Alpha Eagle super chatted $6.89. Dude, I've only seen the VOD with OtterlyNoah less than a week ago. That's a quick fallout.
Oh, which VOD? It's rough because just last week we were talking about freaking why you shouldn't copyright strike someone with the quartering. And then he does it himself.
At Cartoon49 super chatted $2. Thought on MJ movie not getting great reviews.
Well, when you have a movie run by Michael Jackson's family, and they have dictation over what happens in the movie, and it's a movie about a controversial figure like Michael Jackson, and you just choose to ignore all the tough parts about his life, it's gonna get some bad reviews.
At user_225_CCC super chatted $1.99. Call him Noah 'cause Ant is bringing the flood.
Don't give me that much credit. We're going to talk about what's going on. But what's really important, I think, isn't so much just, oh, Noah did this, Noah did that, or I did this, I did that. I think what's more important is we talk about where we go forward from here. Because there's a lot to talk about with this one. The biggest... Okay, well, let's super chat play it real quick.
At Bachaby super chatted $5. So, I don't have a dueling cane. Can I bring a matchalotl?
Yeah, sure, why not? That sounds fun. We'll duel at dawn. So, this is not going to be just me roasting Noah, though there will be some Noah roasting throughout. This is going to be a discussion about how we as a collective community discuss this kind of topic. Because one big thing I think is important to note is that this is a problem that we created, essentially, through permissiveness, through welcoming those who are... Oh, sorry.
At Scorpion 104 super chatted $5. This is gonna be a major blow to the anti-grifter community.
Is it? I wouldn't say so. I would say it's a major blow to Noah. I see this as a learning opportunity, as a moment of growth, as a moment of development and empowerment. Because quite frankly, this was always going to happen at some point with the way we conduct things. We have to be able to talk about these topics.
At Mark M1575 super chatted $2. We going full Kendrick Lamar on Noah tonight.
There will be some harsh words said, sure, but I think what's more productive is we look at it moving forward. Because we have to accept the accountability that we are holding ourselves to a lower standard than we would hold the people we criticize. Maybe not us individually. I hold myself to a standard I criticize all the time. No one criticizes me more than I do myself. Least of all any drama tubers. I'm more critical of myself than anyone else, I guarantee that.
At Kino Flex Reviews super chatted $4.99. Noah is trying to tell people that I manipulated him into looking bad in the call when that is completely delusional. He did that to himself.
We are going to talk about the many pieces of misinformation spread from Noah.
At Dougie1138 super chatted $5. I have no idea what's going on with Noah. How worried should I be?
If you are unfamiliar... Okay, this is why I'm doing this stream, alright? Because what's happening is this is a story that's been circulated in drama spheres. In certain corners of the internet, this story is being discussed. However, it's not being discussed in our sphere. And that's where it needs to be discussed. Because, yeah, we can go over the drama and, let's cancel Noah, which we will. We have to talk also about where we go forward from this.
At alias _ crouton 2671 super chatted $2.
I'm going to slow down
How are you holding up?
Point.
It can't be easy.
It's rough. It's not easy. I'll talk about that in a second, though.
At Jonathan Frostathan super chatted $9.99. IDK if Ant directly specified this, but don't use this stream as a chance to take cheap pot shots at his content or anything involving his identity. Criticize his actions above all else.
That's true. However, we will have to talk about his content because I have a hand to a small degree in some of it. And that's worth discussing because my role in this story needs to be addressed as well. Because, let's be quite frank, a lot of this happened because many of us, myself especially included, were too permissive of Noah the first time he had a controversy. We wanted to see the best in him. We wanted to say that a person can make a mistake, do something wrong, but if they want to actually improve, we should give them the chance to improve. Well, we were wrong. We shouldn't have. That's the blunt of it. That's the big apology we have to make both to ourselves and to the community of critics and people online. We were too permissive of someone who acted in incredibly bad faith. We were permissive to someone who would not be that permissive to someone else had they done it. And I know we wouldn't have been that permissive to someone else who did it because we did it last week with Noah about the quartering. This exact controversy happened last week. And people are completely changing their tunes over this. And listen, I myself have accountability in this as well, and we'll get to that. But it's all of us collectively. We have to address the elephant in that room. That people seem to be fine with one side of the aisle doing something, but when the other side of the aisle does it, it's a problem. And the right does this too, the left does this too. But we in our corner of discussing, being critical of media, being critical of people online, being critical of the opinions presented should not be that way. We should hold ourselves to a higher standard. Later in this stream, we'll be having some guests from the greater critical community showing up. I said, hey, who wants to show up? And a few people said yes, so we'll see what happens. But we need to be honest with ourselves in this one. The reason this problem happened is purely because we were not more critical of who we elevate to positions of authority in this community. myself included. Now, I'm going to start this story with this weekend. I want to tell the story of how I found out about all this drama when I was not looking, essentially, as well as what I felt, my process thinking it through, and what I discovered along the way. And by discussing that, I think we can figure out. Oh, hey, what's up? Oh, hi, CHD. You're also invited to this chat later if you want. You also have to consider. I'm trying to find words for this. What to do next? So it all started this weekend. I was having a fun weekend. I was working on the mentally ill art video, which, by the way, doing quite well. I'm glad people are liking that one. That was fun to make. So I was working on that, having some friends over the weekend. Wasn't paying too much attention to the internet all that much. I was touching grass, quite literally. We're actually out in the yard and doing fun stuff. And so I checked on my phone at some point, and I saw that, I think Noah had posted this on YouTube, that EFAP had covered him again. And I'm thinking, EFAP's covering Noah. Why are they covering Noah a second time? That's stupid. And it's pretty dumb. I thought, who cares about this? This is stupid. I don't pay much mind to it because I'm mostly like, I'm seeing it, talking to friends about like life, jobs, family. I'm working on a video that requires a lot of focus. And I make a dumb little tweet at some point saying, EFAP's covering Noah twice, but never talks about me. I see how it is. I'm not a jealous ex or anything like that. And, whatever. I don't put too much mind on. I put my phone down and go back and do other things. I have a kid I'm raising, so it's like I'm feeding him, changing diapers. And I check my phone again, and Nicholas DiOrio's responded to this. It's like going, what is this? What is this? I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? I'm thinking like, this is weird. Why would they respond? And everyone's kind of dragging up the previous Noah drama, which we'll get to in a second. Super Chef's coming in.
At the _design_spirit super chatted 43 cents. How can someone be like you and learn to be critical?
It's difficult. I did try to help Noah be more critical, and we'll get to that in a bit. Oh, and by the way, mods, just so you know, certain language will get banned from this chat because we want to conduct ourselves to a higher standard. If I'm talking about holding myself to a higher standard, that means I'm holding you all to a higher standard as well. Sorry about that. Don't like it? Too bad. It's probably someone streaming this response elsewhere so you can have fun with them. Anyway, so Jesus Christ, there's a lot of people in chat. Almost 1,000 people in chat. That's incredible. Though I'm sure, again, outside my typical area, you're probably all from some other parts of the internet. Anyway, I'm jumping into this going like, what the fuck's going on here? Why are we... Who cares about this drama? And, I respond very haphazardly. I'm not thinking things through. I'm kind of like looking... And online you get like a freaking... Those apps stink, by the way. You load a couple messages at a time. You're like, what? Someone's angry about something? That's the context. Who cares? Move on. You end up...
At Mark M1575 super chatted $2. We must not be sorry. We must be better.
Exactly. And that's the point of this stream.
At user_225_CCC super chatted $1.99. Leftist art bad, yet all right-wing movies are buns.
Apparently so.
At Racerk45 super chatted $5. I can imagine there would still be people who would be behind Noah regardless.
Yeah, they would. Anyway, it turns out the EFAP guys were responding to a video critical of Noah that was copyright struck. Not just struck, like a content... There's two kinds of content strikes on... I'm going to mute Supers for right now. Alright, guys, let's hold mute Supers for a second, because it keeps interrupting the story. We have to get through this eventually. Yeah, we're muting Supers. I'll at a natural break point, you have a question, have thoughts, leave a super, I'll get to it. And so they responded to this video that this guy named, what's his name? Calesto put out, that apparently had a copyright strike. A full DMCA notice, specifically. There's two kinds of strikes on YouTube. There's the content check, where they basically find copyright material, and they might demonetize your video, or they say, hey, you got to share some of your revenue with these other guys, or maybe it's blocked worldwide, whatever. But your channel is usually in good standing. This was a DMCA strike. That means a strike is put on your channel. That means that for the next, I think it's like 3 months, 90 days, you are at risk of losing your channel if more strikes come. And it's something that people... So it's a claim versus a strike. This is a strike. And I have a personal experience with DMCA strikes. So longtime fans of the channel might remember my confrontations with Lily Orchard. Back... Well, here's the thing. It lasts for 3 months, but like if you get a couple more strikes in that time period, you can lose your whole channel. So what ends up happening is, about a year and a half ago, I do a couple videos in Lily Orchard, and they get pretty popular. One of them, by the way, just crossed 1 million views, so good enough for that. And I noticed that one day, and it's also, this is when Cy Scribbles is a part of the channel as well, so we got Cy integration into the story as well. We both do some videos in Lily Orchard, and Lily Orchard strikes all of them with DMCA copyright takedowns. That means 9 strikes between the two of us. I believe it's 9. No, it's, I got 5, Cy got 4, I'm pretty sure it was. Because I had 5 videos she could qualify as a strike, as she thought it. I counted it, we beat the strikes. Cy needed a little help with hers writing it down, because I know a little bit of legal precedent for strikes in copyright. But yeah, so my channel could have been taken down by Lily Orchard if those strikes had not been fought. She could have destroyed the entire channel in its infancy because she used fraudulent DMCA copyright strikes. And again, they are fraudulent because fair use is protected. If you use something in a transformative way, like say a React content or a collage or a montage of some kind, you legally have the right to use it, so long as it's transformative enough. And so naturally, I take this seriously. What was DMCA striked? What got struck? It turns out Noah's artist struck the video because of its thumbnail using her art. I think it was her art, right? The artist is named Deuce. This is important. Deuce was the first person to be involved. This is the artist who designed. Deuce is specifically the artist who designed OtterlyNoah's PNG, the iconic we call it otter that he uses in his videos. And so I'm like, okay, that's bad. Why would the artist do that? Well, it turned out there's a reason for that. There's a big ol' reason for that, and it all sucks. So, the following messages leaked. Let's open this up for a second, shall we? Bring this up real quick. Alright, let's read these two right here. These are from Discord. April 14th, 2026. So let's say 7 days ago. Noah. Hey Deuce, I want to give you a heads up, but apparently an anti-woke channel is using your art in their thumbnail in a video attacking me, specifically, but also attacking black people. Okay, that's a statement. Deuce, oh my god, what is wrong with people? You might want to file a copyright takedown so your art doesn't get accidentally associated with them. I know, right? It's ridiculous. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. What's the channel? It's named Callisto, I think. I see it. And here's the Callisto icon. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. Okay, I got that already. Now Noah then responds, and this is the most important part of the statement. I can walk you through the step for setting up a copyright takedown if you want. Camelot apparently has had a similar situation before, so she let me know how she did it. Yeah, that's the first one. Camelot. Remember that name. So, right here, I know everything I need to know about the situation. Noah told Deuce, the artist, the art was being used, and suggested, first, you should do a copyright takedown, and then pushed again. I can tell you to do a copyright takedown. Deuce never suggested a copyright takedown, just being upset that the art was being used. Which, hey, that's fine, you can be upset your art's used, but it's fair use. Yeah, so that's dodgy. But no one mentioned the name, Camelot, right? Who's Camelot? We'll get there. The point is, though, this is really bad, isn't it? There's no way around this. It's just bad. Now, this gets posted. Actually, you're probably wondering, how do we have these screenshots? Well, to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure how they got out in the first place. I know where I found them, but I don't know exactly how these got posted initially. But it's pretty obvious. This is his account. It's his Discord. I recognize the icon. I recognize his name. That's him. Case closed. But if maybe they were doctored, you might think. Maybe Noah was hacked. Maybe someone photoshopped it or something like that. Well, no. Because we find out something else as well. Turns out they can't be hacked. Because Noah posted it in his Discord. Yeah! Just posted it in his public Discord that anyone can access. Like, what are you fucking doing, man? So, he admitted to it. That's it. Case closed. DMCA strike. He brought up the idea, coerced his artist to do the idea, and then that's it. Now, all that would suck already, right? That would be shitty. But then it gets worse somehow. Because mind you, this was posted on his Discord April 19th, so 2 days ago. These messages came out April 14th, right? The EFAP stream was last Saturday, which is to say the 18th of April. So, in response to all of this, I'm going to do the unthinkable. I'm sorry right now, gentlemen, ladies, everyone else. We have to take a trip to Twitter. I know, I'm sorry. Nicholas Diorio's Twitter. I know. Some of you guys are having a hard time. But it's okay. We'll get through this together. Because it's important that we look at the source for all of this. Why is Diorio talking about freaking Crimes New Roman? I don't know. I'm not even going to address that. I don't know enough about that. I know I've had enough time on here to know. Unless I know what's going on, I'm not going to comment on it. I'll get to it eventually. I don't know what's going on there, but whatever. I'll figure it out. That's my post there. Okay, that's not as important right now. Where's the... Okay, talking about being on EFAP. Oh yeah, Diorio was on the EFAP episode. I should probably add that for context. That's important as well. Trying to find the actual post. I probably should have had this up quickly. Okay, I think we're past... Did I scroll past it? Let's scroll past it. I'm so sorry. A little bit of scuff. No big deal. It happens. OtterlyNoah. There. It's talking about me. I don't see the Diorio. Huh. Okay. Okay. I guess it's on the Diorio one. Okay. I was trying to find it. Couldn't find it there. Okay. Anyway. The point is that on Diorio's Twitter, what ends up happening is he kind of glosses over the fact that what happened. He's like, oh, what's going on? I don't know what happened. Oh, my artist must have done a DMCA takedown notice of the video that Calesto put out. I'm so sorry. Oh no, it's bad. Whatever. And he's lying about it, essentially. He is distracting from the evidence. He's presenting a scenario. Oh, one sec. Oh, thanks. Seeing some good luck messages here. Yeah, no. So, let me see if I think I have a few messages here. I probably should have gotten everything in order here. It's no big deal. Anyway, not important. Point is, he lied about it publicly. He had a bunch of posts out that deflected attention and threw the artist under the bus. Now, you're probably wondering, what statements does OtterlyNoah make? Let's take a look at that real quick. Let's look real quick. So Noah's account publicly had a few statements about it. but all this. All right, Noah. Bring up his account right here. Okay. Contribution there. Yes, I did contribute there. I'm going to get my take on things and how they happened out there. For now, I reached out to Deuce because I saw Callisto's video and thought it would be okay for her to strike down the video simply because I saw it as a bad thing and her art was on it. This is not the first statement he made. This was wrong and I know that now. Oh, he edited it. He edited his statement. Okay, I have an old version of that too. 1 second. Anthony Goulian isn't intentionally spreading misinformation about me. Kino Flex isn't involved in manipulation about me. And I was acting like an idiot by both flipping between Deuce, Kino, and Wargaming Dad. I'll be taking time off YouTube. I want to self-reflect and think about how I want to go about content moving forward. I've currently secured a position in my film industry and be looking forward to that. If I come back to YouTube, I'll likely be sticking strict to the autism and related. Okay, you know what? Let me just bring this up real quick. This is a little simpler. This video right here is... I'm going to pause the audio. I'm going to let some super chats play real quick before I introduce this next footage. This will explain things a little more concisely and offer a perspective that I found out after this initial whole thing. Because right now, everything I found out, that's how I learned about it. But there's some more events from different perspectives that's worth showing as well. So let's illustrate that as well. Let me just let the supers play right now. 1 sec.
At Stingertopia3169 super chatted $5. Hypocrisy, one of if not the biggest killers of honest discussion.
Exactly.
It devalues points, lacks critical thinking, and shows lack of foresight.
Exactly.
SMH Noah.
Yeah, exactly.
At Bloodsplatter Productions super chatted $5.
That's a name.
Insane, all this happened within a week. I paid for a membership with him.
Mm-hmm.
Cancelled that real quick once all this came out. Sad face.
I'm sorry. It's awful.
At Adelaide St. Gabriel 2923 super chatted $2. There's so much drama, why does this keep happening?
You know, when there's a lot of egos put into one place, people act dumb. And of course, there's more drama
At
to be had.
Scorpion104 super chatted $5. Copyright strikes are the weapon of the enemy. We do not need it. We will not use it.
Mm-hmm.
At Tall King Movie Bubbles B6N super chatted $9.99. Fun fact. I've once donated money to Star Giant for this series to talk about the life of Jim Henson.
Huh.
Thank God he never got around because I don't want his legacy to be tainted by this pervert.
God, yeah.
At Simon Robineau super chatted $10.03. Hey Anthony, I've tried reaching out to you in Discord DMs and I'm not sure if you saw them, but I'd like to get in touch with you since I might have stuff to share regarding this situation.
Oh, Discord DMs? I don't know if I saw that actually. I can check.
At Adelaide St. Gabriel 2923 super chatted $2. Wouldn't see Callisto's video if it wasn't for this.
Oh yeah, exactly.
At Tall King Movie Bubbles B6N super chatted $1.99. I'll say it again, the fuck Noah?
Yeah, seriously.
At Revenovan 300 super chatted $1.99. An EFAP stream on my birthday? Thanks. I hate it.
Yeah, no. By the way, I've not seen the EFAP stream yet, or probably ever will.
At Stingertopia 3169 super chatted $10. All the folks saying Kino or EFAP 1 are showing a similar mindset to them in Noah. This is media discussion, not debating or a contest. There are no winners in this.
I agree.
Only losers, that being SN media.
Yeah, that's the thing too. This is not a situation where one side wins and one doesn't. We'll talk about that in a bit. I do want to get into the fallout as well as what led us to this point. I put supers on pause for a second. We'll get back to it after this next video. But yeah, this is not a story where people win. The only people who win are those who make content that makes, I guess, some profit off of this, I guess. This is not a story about winning or losing. It's a story about what we do next. So here's a video right here. It's done by user Shockmouths. It was the one I found that best summarized the details of the story. By the way, if you want to watch something after this, Down the Rabbit Hole's new video out. It comes out I guess he makes one every couple of months, so that's cool. It's really short-form comedy. Short-form content. It's under an hour and a half long. Anyway, back to this.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Shockmouse News, where we take the news that was too long and you didn't read and give it to you straight.
Yeah, that's me right there. I didn't get the news in a coherent manner. I got everything freaking backwards. That was why I stumbled into this drama. I'm like, what the frick's going on here? Well, let's keep watching.
YouTuber OtterlyNoah, a self-admitted plagiarist, has been caught lying to several people about a copy.
We will get to the plagiarism stuff in a moment. I want to introduce how I saw it, and then we'll go work our way backwards to the things we should have done months ago to avoid this drama happening.
Copyright strike that his rival received. Let me explain. OtterlyNoah is a YouTuber who makes content about pop culture and takes the fight to the anti-woke crowd. He doesn't like mean words and will ignore your opinion if you say a bad word, such as this one 4 weeks ago when he was responding to another drama when he got caught plagiarizing. When a viewer commented, "Are you sorry for what you did, or you're sorry that you got caught?" To which OtterlyNoah said, "Looks like you've used the trans slur before on my channel. Thank you for letting me know to disregard your take." And the viewer replied, "When?" And Noah brushed it under the rug, which is going to be a common theme in this video.
This is important too. I'm not sure how to even begin with this one. So there is a common thread here that Noah will, before he even engages with his targets of criticism, paint them with a negative brush. Mind you, we all to some extent do that. We brush off the people we disagree with as, "Oh, you're a liberal SJW." But back in the day, God, I'm showing my age with that one. Or whatever. You know, whatever side you're on, you always dismiss the opponent with some generic gobble. But I think Noah does a little more than he should. Because there are things that your opposition can say that are meaningful criticisms, and we're going to talk about those, because I had to hear a lot of very fair criticism from the other side of the aisle. I listened to everything. Every single thing that you have said, I have listened. And we'll get to that. I do want to just get everyone on board, though, because not everyone knows the story before we get into the specifics. That's why I'm doing this little bit of a preamble. For some of you, if you heard all this, I get it. Most of you haven't, because most of you don't watch YouTube 24/7.
This latest shit show from Noah started just over a week ago, when a YouTuber called Callisto made a video essay criticizing OtterlyNoah titled "Anti-Woke Criticism is Fine, Debunking OtterlyNoah." Then, a few days ago, Callisto received a copyright strike for this video criticizing Noah, but Noah was not the person who made the claim. The claim was made by a person named Deuce Marionette, which you can find in this tweet here from Nicholas Diorio, where Nicholas said, "Hey,
this is the one I was looking for. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, evidence I collected beforehand to do the work for me." I should really just trust the stuff I put aside for these streams and not have to go looking for things live. My bad there.
And tag Noah, a small YouTuber named Callisto created a video essay critical of you, and it got copyright strike from what appears to be your artist. Do you know anything about this, and can you assist in getting it resolved? Another YouTube...
Now, I want to point out, that's April 19th. That's April 19th. So, Diorio responded 19th, and for comparison's sake, this screenshot right here, the 19th as well. At that night, I guess.
Who replied to this tweet is Kino Flex, who said, "I want to..."
6:14 a.m., so that's the morning. Oh, God. Oh, Kino Flex, you're on here. Kino Flex is a reoccurring character in this story, too.
Clarify that Noah had no knowledge of this, and he's not the individual making the claim.
Now, Kino Flex... There's a lot of stories about Kino Flex's involvement in this. For those who don't know, Kino Flex is a YouTuber who has done a lot of response videos to Noah, to the Birdman especially, to me. We had him on a conversation about 5 months ago, back in November, I think it was, regarding a disagreement we had. Noah has had a tumultuous relationship with Kino Flex. They've had, I'm not sure what their connection is, if I'm being quite honest with you guys. 1 minute it looks like they're arguing, next minute they're hanging out talking about 80s movies together. I'm not sure what their connection is. I don't get it, but we'll get to that. At first, Kino Flex was defending Noah. Kino Flex was defending Noah at first because, as he saw it, Noah did nothing wrong. His artist did something wrong. And so Kino Flex is running defense for Noah, thinking he's right. And this is a reoccurring thing you're going to find here. A lot of the people who defended Noah, myself included, thought he was in the right. We thought we trusted him to some extent. We believed that he was doing something justified. Yes, KinoFlex does defend Reb Says Desu, so we can criticize him for that if you want. It's not relevant to the story necessarily, but that's for another day. Right now, I want to direct the criticism to ourselves, which is important to note. Anyway, yeah, I guess enemies to lovers. I guess. Toxic Yowie. Yeah, that could be it. That could be it. I know. That could be it. All right, back to this.
Flex had spoken to Noah in DMs about this and shared with him the copyright strike notice. To which OtterlyNoah said, "Oh shit, Deuce Marinette is my artist. She made my images I use in my videos. I'm wondering if she claimed that video if it popped up in her feed."
This is also damning. This is on 4/17. April 17th. Again, look at the date. April 14th is when Noah suggested to Deuce, hey, you should copyright strike this video. He knew. He knew exactly what happened. He directed her to do it. He was involved. He lied to everyone's fucking face. Now, mind you, I was not in this conversation. I was off doing something else. I'm not here. I have no idea what's going on. This is KinoFlex's DMs. No one ever reached out to me about this. No one ever told me about this. No one ever notified me there was a strike at all. I was off doing my own thing. I was working on a bunch of videos, working on collabs. I had no idea any of this was going on. No one ever brought my attention to it. Yeah, so why would Noah do such a thing? Can't imagine why he'd lie to everyone's face, especially when it was easy to find out what was going on. Let's keep going.
And KinoFlex said, "How do you think Callisto can resolve this issue with them? He's planning on sending an email to her." And Noah said, "That would probably be the best option there, if I'm being honest. It is ultimately her art, so it's out of my hands. He could talk to her through an email." And then he goes on about YouTube copyright claims. So Noah appears to be surprised that this has happened and tries to offer an explanation as to why she sent a copy strike. KinoFlex offered some advice to Noah on how to handle the situation. And much like when OtterlyNoah makes a YouTube video, he was unable to help himself from hitting copy paste and posted the statement that KinoFlex suggested word for word on his.
This is also a reoccurring thing. We'll get to it.
YouTube community page, and in it he said that Callisto was sent a copyright claim from someone that he knows, but that he himself, Noah, had nothing to do with it.
Okay, just a heads up, that post is gone now. It ain't here. He got rid of it. He deleted it. He does that a lot, if you notice. He does delete a lot of posts on his YouTube posts, but I digress.
Another YouTuber, Wargaming Dad, was due to go on stream with YouTuber Dickens to talk about the situation, and he sent Noah some Discord messages to get some context to the story. Wargaming Dad said, "I will say here that this girl, as in the artist, is wrong, even though it's her art. People using that art in a thumbnail to make a video about you does not go against copyright."
Wargaming Dad's correct. Entirely correct. It's within fair use to use that art in a thumbnail. Now, granted, I would have said maybe the artist should reach out and say, hey, can you just credit me for the art because it's my art, or this, that, and the other. If you want to be credited, or say, hey, I don't like what use my art, can you please change your thumbnail? And then the person can say yes or no. That's different. That's talking, that's discussion, and that should be encouraged. This is not that. This is copyright takedowns. This is a DMCA notice. This is a channel could get banned if you do this 2 more times in a short period of time kind of bullshit. So yeah, let's keep going.
And OtterlyNoah says, "I agree. I think she does not understand fair use." Gaming Dad said, "Most don't. I don't like the conclusion, but if all parties are happy, then it's settled." Wargaming.
Noah here admits that this is not fair use. He admits it. He admits right here, this is wrong. And he did it anyway. Let's keep going.
Gaming Dad then asked about what the relationship with the artist is going to be going forward, and that he should change his profile picture. And Noah says, "Yeah, I was planning on that." Wargaming Dad said, "I figured. I'm just doing the investigation thing. Talk about the worst time to do it during the quartering drama. Oh my god, I thought we were going to get away from fucking quartering."
Okay, key thing as well that some people pointed out as what it was worth criticizing. Yes, Last week, Noah was on a stream I did discussing the quartering drama. We'll get to my role in allowing Noah to reach the point we could do this kind of stuff again. But yeah, he was in a stream last week talking about how bad it was to DMCA people. In fact, what day was that stream? That stream was that was the 14th. That was the 14th. Last week's stream. April 14th. Same time as he did this. But don't worry. I didn't give him the idea because he, that morning, talked about doing DMCA strikes against his critics, and then that night showed up to criticize the quartering for doing the very same thing he had just done that morning. Do you see why I waited a few days to talk about this? Everything about this, the more I found out, pissed me off so much, so deeply. The sheer hypocrisy of it. And to know it was in part my own actions that led to this happening. How? We'll get there.
Can we do one video without mentioning him? Wargaming Dad said, one final question. Did you decide to talk to her before or after the Diorio tweet? Is it possible for me to talk to her? And Noah pushes him off saying, I'm streaming right now. Hang on. And then Wargaming Dad said, no problem. I got her. And then Noah starts to panic and says, leave Deuce alone, please. This is not helping anything. She just called me, and tell others to leave her alone as well. Wargaming Dad said, she is saying that you asked her to copy strike. Is that true? You need to let me in this call, bud. So for some reason, when asked to get into contact with the artist, no one tries to brush it off saying, oh, he's busy. He's busy. He'll do it. But the Wargaming says, oh, it's okay. I found her. And then Noah started to panic. And the reason being is that Noah has been full of complete and utter dog shit. He was exposed on Deconstructing for telling his artist about Callisto's video and convincing her to report Callisto's video to try and avoid there being any trace back to him.
I originally made Deus aware of Callisto's video, and that's why he struck it down.
So you made your artist aware of Callisto's video. Why?
Because
Here's one thing I'm a little confused by. What's Deuce's pronouns? Because I keep hearing them flip back and forth between she and her. He. I'm not sure. Anyway.
thought it was racist.
Am I right in understanding that you were the one who got Kino?
Hang on. So keep that in mind. He said it was attacking black people. She, her? Thank you. So Noah said it was attacking black people. But then Noah said, oh no, Deuce thought it was racist. That was the reason. She didn't want her art to be associated with racism. But Noah was the one who brought up the racism. This is immensely frustrating. At every corner, every turn, there is another level of stupid. This is an exercise in stupidity. Every single person in this is the dumbest human being I've ever met in my life. You are all more... Okay, not all of you. It's an exaggeration. A bunch of you are idiots. This is a comedy of errors. And everyone's just... Myself included. I'm the king clown, apparently. Because I've allowed Noah on stream. I promoted him to you after all that. So, I guess we're all wearing some clown makeup on this one. Get your fucking oil paints ready. Get your big old bushy red wigs. We're going to clown school. Noah's the king ringleader. And guess what? He's a big clown too in this story. We're all clowns in this circus. All of us, no exceptions. There is no one free of sin in this church. Of clowns. Everyone involved, including everyone in chat and myself included, we're all a bunch of suckers. To some extent. We'll get to that. We'll get to the specifics as to how I'm a clown in a bit. Let's first finish deconstructing the clownery that is this sticker stream.
Flex and Callisto to post publicly that you had nothing to do with the copyright strike. Did you ask them to post that?
No.
So you wanted to copyright strike it, but you knew that your channel name would be on there, and so you got your artist to do it for you.
So I'll man to man. Did you want the video taken down because it was a 2.5-hour hit piece that criticizes you, and that was the only reason?
Yes.
Let's repeat that question in case you missed it because you glossed over from your clown painting and maybe you got some like oil in your eye or you're still puffing up your wig. Let's repeat that again for everyone in the audience.
So you wanted to copyright strike it, but you knew that your channel name would be on there, and so you got your artist to do it for you.
So I'll man to man. Did you want the video taken down because it was a 2.5-hour hit piece that criticizes you, and that was the only reason?
Yes.
All of this to take down a hit piece. He threw his artist under the bus, who, by the way, he was going to throw away to take down a hit piece because it was unflattering. That's it. That's the base of it. There was a piece out there that was critical to Noah, and so Noah told his artist it was bad. I want all that to sink in for a second. That's the only reason. He admits it. We have him on tape. There you go.
Okay.
So that last part you just saw was Emro confronting Noah on Dicker's stream and asking him point blank, did you do it? Did you orchestrate that? To which Noah admitted yes. So this entire time he was just full of complete and utter shit, and you probably shouldn't listen to anything that he ever says ever again.
Yep.
Or let him anywhere near your homework because he might copy it. But it should also be noted that after the stream, Noah put out this community post addressing the situation. I will be taking the month off YouTube. I want to self-reflect and think about how I want to go about content going forward. And basically says that he messed up by committing YouTube's cardinal sin of copyright striking. Anyway, that's it for the news.
But you're probably wondering something that I was wondering too. Who the hell is Camelot? Who is this guy? Who's Camelot? What does Camelot fit into this? Because, mind you, Camelot didn't factor in any of this so far. So where did this come in? Well, it gets even worse somehow. Somehow, we are only halfway through the pool of stupidity. I know I said to have some guests on, but apparently this is going to take longer than I expected to go through everything. Oh, Dicker just sent me a message. After this, I think I have to get my steam through this. I have to get my frustrations out first. Because, Jesus Christ, I'm so frustrated with all this. Okay. Somehow, it gets worse than we already have it going on now. Okay? Okay. That's fine. Let's talk about Camelot. Because apparently, Noah has done this before. This is not his first rodeo copyright striking someone. I know. I'm stunned too. So, for this, we have to go back to another video. When I kind of... Did I not freaking put it? Okay. No, it's not, hang on. I put everything aside. I put it in a special place for me to access. I didn't come so unprepared that I just jumped into this without anything going on. I had some ideas. Oh, and by the way, Noah, this is important. It's the one issue Noah also had with all this, I think, that's relevant to all of this, I think, is that he did not shut up. He just kept talking. He did not know to stop. And if you keep talking when you're in the middle of drama, what you end up doing is running the risk of saying something that incriminates you. So, Noah tells his audience... Wait, let me get the... Let me get the Camelot up here. 1 second. Because I posted this somewhere. All right. Okay. This is from Dicker's Twitter. Dickers, I know you're watching. So this is from your source. I want to make sure I cite my sources in this one correctly. I want to give credit where it's due. You know, they all did the heavy lifting and digging all this up. So I want to make sure credit's due where it is. Let's let some super chats play real quick as we're letting this go. Though, let's let some play. Because we have a lot building up here.
At KJ Zana super chatted $5. Noah was one of the reasons why I was able to gain a new respect for the Tron franchise. Still doesn't change the fact that he sullied his reputation.
Oh yeah, needlessly, repeatedly.
At HighCHD super chatted $4.99. Dude was too much of a coward to strike it himself, so he manipulated his artist and then threw her under the bus. Lost all respect from me, bro.
If you haven't followed HighCHD, follow him. He has some good stuff.
At Scorpion104 super chatted $5.
Shout out to HighCHD.
I was initially planning to draw Noah, but struggled with how to give an otter a beard. Guess I don't have to worry about that now.
That makes it easier. Some people enjoying it as like a fish or a leech, so.
At Eustace Giwo super chatted $5. Person facepalming oof this what happens when you stop questioning righteousness of what you do and say.
Exactly. This is when the ends justify the means every time.
At Bechabi super chatted $5. The classic, you did something bad and grew from it, but you did something bad so you will always be the bad.
Yeah, well that's the problem. We do have morality as kind of like a sticking gum to the
At
inside of the shoe
Lucky_Dagger
online, but...
super chatted $5. Back in my day we called it politically correct. I hope that makes you feel less old, Ant.
It doesn't. I was around when that was a thing too. I'm older than I look.
At Scorpion104 super chatted $2. It's like mundane Matt all over again.
Yeah.
At the Misnik fan super chatted $5. Holy mother of God, he just threw his artist under the bus without flinching.
Without flinching. So who else would he throw in the bus if he kept doing this?
At
Who else?
JessISD3 ad super chatted $5. I have dealt with a couple of manipulators and I knew exactly what he was gonna do when he said, you should strike them. That makes me more upset.
It should. And it's going to get worse.
At J Wang makes super chatted $2. Ant, Scar's voice, I'm surrounded by idiots.
It feels that way sometimes, but I, of course, am a chief idiot myself, so I can't even make fun of it too much.
At Nick Wolf 3885 super chatted $2. It's so utterly Nover.
Yeah, right?
_ Ant _ Crim.
There we go. Well, Crim had nothing to do with this. Well, I'll tell you one thing.
At Larry Banks
Crim called him out beforehand.
3821
Crim knew
super
in the
chatted
beginning he was a crap.
$10. This is like how Kineflex saw and criticize another YouTuber of doxing SK and know the dangers of it, but got mad at SK during a disagreement and then dox him and say that nothing bad came of it.
That's some deep lore right there. But yeah, Kinoflex has a long history with SK's crew, and they hate each other.
Super chatted
as far as I know.
$5.
Or just like
I
each
got
other.
bad vibes from Noah from the start, never gave him a view. Plus, I can't fit the wig under my habit. Also, they didn't have any ace flag wigs.
That's fair. They should design that. I think they should have some more colors for Pride Month with all the clowns out.
At Revenavan 300 super chatted $1.99. If Noah tries to blame his autism, I'm a crash out.
Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there.
At super chatted $5, here is a tip for future reference.
Mm-hmm.
Don't defend or attack anyone until you get all of the receipts.
Yes.
It's the easiest way not to have egg on your face.
That was my first apology, responding before having everything in hand. That's a lesson I have to learn.
At Arthur Clybourne
we should all learn
writes
from my
super
example.
chatted $2.
Fucking
Shutting up is free.
Shutting up is free. It's a great free action everyone should take, myself included sometimes.
At Errand Alpha Eagle super chatted $2.86. Noah doing the old Derek Savage technique.
Mm-hmm. Derek Savage making AI films now, which is unsurprising
At
to me.
Phoenix Merlin 57 super chatted $19.99. Well, I feel extremely stupid for my comments here and on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry for that. I just thought this was similar to something that happened to me years ago and freaked out. Now I'm here with clown makeup, clown face.
That's why I'm doing this stream. Most of you do not know the full story, and I wanted to lay out all the facts in a coherent manner.
TNC super chatted $2. Love seeing y'all in the DD streams.
Oh, thank you. I love being on Dead Domain streams. They're fun. Well, it's a chat anyway. Dead Domain, you want to invite me on a stream, let me know. Okay, cool. I went for 8-9 months. I will say it was disappointing. Yeah, it is disappointing. The whole thing is disappointing. It sucks.
At Larry Banks 3821 super chatted $10. Like Noah before was having an upturn with how he managed to help debunk the ProZD lies, and despite the plagiarist stuff nothing seemed to have ruined him, but I guess he wanted to go out in a bang.
I guess, and that was the video project I was working on with them, the ProZD thing, because there was going to put the supers on pause again, because that was a good cause, dispelling misinformation that had spread throughout the community. But while we were doing that, he was lying to everyone's face. You can't fucking do that. You cannot present yourself as a bastion of honesty and truth while lying and throwing people under the bus with your side of your mouth. You can't speak truths on one half and lies on the other at the same time in a public platform. You just can't do that. It is unethical. Beyond unethical. Yeah, so as you can tell, I'm not the happiest person right now with Noah. Because it gets worse. This post right here is now deleted from Noah. As you can see, he has gotten rid of it. It's totally gone. Oh, no, actually, no, it's gone. So this is something he did not want to keep on screen for too long. What was about ProZD? Well, so ProZD was, long story short, ProZD is held accountable for saying that only voice actors of a certain ethnicity should play the characters they voice. He never really said that. That was a deception. That was a miscommunication or misinformation spread by Reb Says Desu that was popularized. ProZD never actually said the words specifically that voice actors of a certain ethnicity should only play certain characters in animation games and what have you. But it was just kind of a misrepresented quote of his. They kind of spliced some things he said around to make it sound like he did. And that has become common internet facts that he said that, but ProZD never actually said that. It's one of those big things out. And by the way, Noah was not the only one to point it out. There had been other people before him who had also said that. But never hurts to say it again. When people forget about it, people blame ProZD for the whole Aang casting something or other. Doesn't hurt to remind people that ProZD never actually said the words that people think he did. And there are some important differences. That's a good message. That's valuable. Noah did do good. But the problem is all that good goes right out the window when the source telling you it is dishonest and manipulative and lying. And in fact, before even getting here, Noah was already bad-mouthing me to convince you not to come on my stream to watch. We'll get that in a second. Right now, though, we have this. I've gotten Camelot's permission to share these DMs for posterity's sake. But no, I did not push her to strike down a diss track, as she stated herself. I suggested making a public statement saying she was not associated with Truge on Blue Sky, and she ended up finding out through a mutual she can have the video claimed to get the art changed. If you want clarification on that from her specifically, you can also see your own community post she has made. Okay, a few questions here. Oh, cool. Okay, so SK and Kino have dropped the whole thing. That's good. That's good. Okay, right here, a few odd things. If you're casually following this drama, let's assume you're like me. You're coming at this from the perspective of like your kid's peeing, you got some project you're working on, your buddy's outside, with a couple beers or whatever, and you look at your phone and you go, oh, okay, Camelot, there's some artist, copyright strike, go on. I guess Noah had nothing to do with it. This looks pretty good. Okay, cool, good. He has permission from the artist, they're working together, that's fine. And you put your phone down, you go off and do your own thing. But you might miss a few details that are very important here. One, Camelot is not Deuce, who is the artist who we're talking about here. And likewise, Truge? Who's Truge? We're talking about what's his name? Calesto, whatever. Calypso, who cares? You don't know what their names are. None of these names actually matter to you because you're casually following this. Who's Calypso? Who's Truge? You can't even probably say Truge. Probably saying Trogue or something like that. Who cares? You don't care because you're reading it casually. You're a casual in this situation. And so you might miss or misunderstand what Noah is specifically talking about because he's not talking about what happened this week. He's talking about what happened in March 16th specifically. Almost a full 30 days before this drama, there was another artist who also copyright struck a video being critical of Noah in the exact same way. I repeat, Noah convinced two different artists to strike two different videos, to take down two different critics of his in the months following his initial plagiarism controversy. He did this twice. And here's the thing that's so funny about all this. I was talking to Truge before all this happened. Because Truge came to me. I'm going to talk about Truge for a second here, because Truge has a statement he would like me to read for him, saying that Noah was harassing him. And I spoke to Noah. I said, listen, I took out all the names. I wanted to keep the anonymity of the person involved. And I said, listen, there's someone who's talking to me, saying there's some harassment going on. Maybe it's your community, maybe it's you. I don't know what's happening, but you have to address it. This is bad. You don't want to have, people being harassed in your name. You don't want to have your fans harass people unfairly. Now, I tell him this, and I think he understands it at the time. Clearly, I was fucking wrong. Funny how that works out, isn't it? We go back to Noah here. About a month ago. Where are you? Where are you? Where's the fucking video? Oh, it's live. It's a live stream. Sorry. Where are you? Where are you? Jello Apocalypse, Ending with Vengeance. Jello's dressing a former modern friend. Right here. This is it right here. This video. Noah is here criticizing Truge. Right here. Let's take a listen.
Neurodivergent and all. I kind of have to like it makes it hard for me to read this.
So right here, let's go back a second here.
Also, dolphins and orcas and other primates like chimps and bonobos were discovered to form same-sex couples in the wild.
That's true, actually. That were doing like right when he sent that.
So,
and then he sent that, and then she sent that immediately afterward. Like that's what it looks like to me.
That's what it looks like to me too. I think I did bring that up to you. It just comes off as rude if that were the case, because it's just like you. Man.
When I mentioned Truge to my Discord, people responded, "Oh, isn't that supposed to be like Noah's Psy? A person who he was friends with, who he tried to rein in, who was misbehaving and doing bad stuff?" Well, no. Apparently, Truge made a couple statements that were kind of aggressive towards fucking Noah. He made a couple statements where he made a typo, taken out of context, screenshotted, spread to his audience, and he presented Truge as the villain to distance himself from any harassment going on. Further, a diss track was put out. And it was copyright struck. Did some research and everything talked to by OtterlyNoah, and filed a copyright claim take on the thumbnail. Okay, that's good. So that's the statement right here. Oh, this is all I made for them before all that. Yes. So diss track, and now granted, it was an AI track, so I think that sucks. I don't support AI tracks. But it's a diss track making fun of Noah. It's the lightest of all criticisms, and he and this artist got the video taken down. Admittedly, that one I'm a little more hazy on. But it's a pattern of behavior. Even if this artist acted independently, it's still a pattern surrounding Noah. That critics of his get taken down. This person Noah was defending. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So, Gaming Truge, you have a statement I want to read from you that you sent me. Let me read it real quick. So I'm a little more hazy in this one. So I'm going to let the Gaming Truge talk to you directly through my mouth. Because I reached out to Gaming Truge. We were talking. I asked him, hey, do you have a statement on this? This is Truge's statement on OtterlyNoah. My Discord's invisible on stream, so you can't see it. So I'll read it out loud to you. I have thought about this a lot within the last few months, with how all of this has affected me. I am not a person who deals with stress and anxiety well, and OtterlyNoah has genuinely made me overwhelmed making content by his lies, his harassment that his community has caused, and his betrayal of our friendship, because they were friends beforehand. Me and Noah go back 4 years ago, and I was proud to see him grow the most organically on YouTube when he started. And to see him fall so hard is heartbreaking. Because we used to share a lot of stuff together. And I had your back for a long time. More than you can ever know. You are someone who is manipulative to get people to side with you. You preach about being an advocate for autism, but you harass people who might not fully agree with you 100% of the time. And you use mutuals and other people to do your dirty work. To anybody who is still in Noah's community or friend group, I will advise you to leave as fast as you can. To Camelot, we made up in DMs, but I thought about everything. I just really don't want anything to do with you. Now, you hurt me like crazy, and I would need more time to heal. Please, for your own sake, just leave Noah's community. To Noah himself, for someone who enjoyed when I dissed on Cherry back in 2025, my Templar track, and many other songs now that we are not friends. This one, I'm a little hazy in this one. Sorry, let me read this sentence again. To Noah himself, for someone who enjoyed when I dissed on Cherry back in 2025, my Templar track, and many of the songs now that we are not friends, you are going to call me cringe and take typos as gospel. I will say this one more time. I believe non-binary people are real, and I have friends and family who fall under that umbrella, and after my friends try to tell you that I'm not that, you never listen. So the allegation that Noah had was that he tried to tell his crew that the Gaming Truge was transphobic and didn't believe non-binary people were real. Apparently, the Gaming Truge said a statement to that effect by accident. I think he forgot like a couple. He was typing quickly. He gets anxious. He made a typo. Shit happens. And Noah, and he fixed it quite fast afterwards, but Noah screenshotted the typo and spread that and said that was his statement to make his crew think that the Gaming Truge was terrible. I want nothing to do with OtterlyNoah moving on, and I hope he can find peace and wake up from whatever curse he is under. And that's the Gaming Truge's statement. Yeah. So, snake shit. Absolute snake shit. So where do I fit in all this? Obviously, I've had Noah on as most recently as last week. I've had him here for multiple times. I've promoted him to you. I've had him appear in videos, streams. And yet, we keep coming back to this same point. The plagiarism thing. What are we talking about here? No, don't be sorry, Truge. You're doing a great job. Everyone, follow Gaming Truge. Also, follow the one and only Phineas, who Gaming Truge edits for, another friend of the channel, who I didn't realize the Gaming Truge was actually working with the whole time. So, one and only Phineas, Gaming Truge, good on you both. You're doing fantastic. All of this is heavy. It's a lot, I know. But here is where we move backwards again. We're going backwards to the first controversy, the plagiarism. And to that, we're going to go to the banned video itself, the Callisto video. Now, let me be perfectly blunt. I reached out to Callisto for a comment on this, and he told me he wasn't interested in talking. essentially. He said no comment. So I will not put any words in Callisto's mouth that he did not put in his video. But I will skip ahead to the plagiarism section, because quite frankly, look, I'll be honest with you. This is the other stuff in the video that's before this. So there's a lot of disagreeing on video stuff, and it's just, there's too much minutia to talk about all that right now. There's way too much minutia to discuss it. Like, we're talking about stuff like this. Like, this is most of the video.
Floodgates were opened and the sludge began to flow. Book of Boba Fett was a rushed, cheap, and ultimately pointless adventure featuring an...
Do you want to talk about Noah's opinions on Book of Boba Fett? Or the critical drinkers' opinions on Boba Fett? Do you really want to do that right now? I don't. So, we're skipping it. Hell, I'm happy if I never think of the Book of Boba Fett again, because that show, frankly, was the worst Star Wars thing ever made. Yeah, I said it. Book of Boba Fett is the worst Star Wars show. By a mile. You can criticize all the other ones for being whatever and cringe or whatever, but there's nothing worse than boring me. And the Book of Boba Fett was the most boring fucking Star Wars show ever, and I just got to put it out there. It sucked. We all agree Book of Boba Fett, bottom tier? Cool. I know, like, some of you guys are the Acolyte, but no. Look in your hearts. You know this is worse. At least you remember the Acolyte. Did you even remember the show existed? I forgot. I generally... People say I'm like a Disney show. I forgot the show even existed. Quite frankly. So who cares, right? We're moving on to the more important stuff. The plagiarism accusations. The Acolyte is not worse than the Book of Boba Fett, because you remember the Acolyte. Even if you hate everything else, it still sticks in memory. It's worse to be forgotten than to be cringe. That's my opinion. Okay, back ahead. God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You have to... By the way, trigger warning, Jezebel. I'm so sorry. Let's let some supers play real quick. They're kind of building up.
At the Salubra Outcast super chatted $3.59. I did watch like half a video of his. I got bored. Went to rewatch Dr. Polaris.
Okay.
At Bachabi super chatted $2. Wait, are we a circus or a church?
Both. Both. They overlap quite a lot, circuses and churches.
At Lovely Gabby 21 super chatted $9.39. It's funny we had an enlightened conversation, started by this on Twitter, and in the meanwhile it all came out. The EFAP stream was earned, and I feel a bit bad for bad-mouthing Mahler in that context.
Yeah, I said on Twitter I owe EFAP an apology because that was justified.
At Jay Wang makes super chatted $5.
That's not easy for me to say.
Noah made videos about how the world should respect animation and writing characters with autism, and now I lost my respect for him.
Yep, that's the problem.
At Racerk45 super chatted $20. I was introduced to Noah half a year ago, as he's one of the few people who debunks anti-woke content creators. Same as Ant, Actual Fandom, TH3 Birdman, TTBN Gaming, and now he's becoming a grifter himself.
Yeah, the more I dig, the worse it gets.
At Larry Banks 3821 super chatted $10. This situation looks like a rush hash job, because nothing what Noah did feels like it was planned out and was just winging it to get rid of not only his critic, but for some reason also Deus as well.
Yeah, none of this was thought out. It's stupid. It's really stupid. All of it is so stupid. That's what drives me crazy about this.
$6.89. Wait, Noah did this Daft Pina trick 2 to 3 times in the span of a month?
Yeah, twice. Can you believe that? He did the same trick twice. We got away with it the first time. Why not try it again?
104 super chatted $5.
No one called him out on it.
As the guy who said that Psy comparison twice, I'm sorry, Truge.
You know what? I'm glad you said that on stream. Congratulations. You know, yeah. your apologies accepted in my book.
Super chatted $2. But the Christmas special exists.
Oh yeah, the holiday specials. I would say Book of Boba Fett's worse than the holiday special. At least the Christmas special you remember.
At the Salubra Outcast super chatted $1.43. Worse than Star Wars Christmas?
Yeah, you know, I'm going with it. Worse than the Christmas special. At least that's funny in how bad it is. Book of Boba Fett's boring.
At Bekwa Samebird 3481 super chatted $2. Worse than the Xmas special?
Yeah, a lot of people, yeah, I'd say it's worse because it's better to be cringe than boring.
At Jay Wang makes super chatted $2. Pick or poison. Worst Spy Kids movie versus Bobath.
Oh, that's tough. I'll go with Spy Kids in terms of to watch
At Nick
instead.
Wolf 3885 super chatted $2. I remember Mondo and like a bantha.
Oh God, that was weird. Oh God, that was the Mandalorian stuff was the only part
At
that
Arthur
was
Clybourne
not like
writes
Book of
super
Fett.
chatted $5. The holiday special was a lot of things, but it was never boring.
Never boring. Never boring once.
At Pat C3199 super chatted $4.99. Is Book of Boba Fett worse than the droids and Ewok cartoons?
I'd say so, because this is the joy of the hand-drawn animation in droids and Ewoks. That's at least charming. There's nothing
At
charming
Larry
in
Banks
Book of Boba Fett.
3821 super chatted $5. And so long as you didn't know the full context of what Noah did, you shouldn't be totally responsible as you did everything to be good faith.
I had no idea about this crap. Not a single thing. He kept it hidden from me.
At Otto
We'll get to
Johnny
my
super
responsibilities in
chatted
a bit.
$10. I know you are not crazy about Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, but this quote is so fitting. You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
100%. The villain. I love how it said that. That's funny.
At the Salubra Outcast super chatted $1.43. F4 Stick versus BBF.
Oh God. Oh, that's okay. Fan 4 Stick. I'm sorry. That's one of the worst things I've ever seen. Yeah, Fan 4 Stick is worse. Okay, I'll give you that. You found one thing worse. At least Book of Boba had the Mandalorian stuff in it. Fan 4 Sticks is bad. I'll give you that. Okay, super's a pause for a bit. Let's dive into the plagiarism, because it's here where I have to issue my biggest apology, because it is thanks in part to me and my response to all this that Noah was allowed to have his platform continue. This is where I take accountability for my part in the story. Because frankly, if it wasn't for me, a lot of you would not see Noah anymore, because he would have left or burned himself out. It's because not just of how I talked with Noah, it's also thanks to how I helped him. How I helped him hone his response to all this, how I helped him come back after all this. This is where I have to take accountability for my actions in this situation, because I trusted that Noah had made a mistake. In hindsight, that's clearly fucking stupid. It's very stupid in hindsight. But that was my thought process. And we'll get to why I thought that in a bit. But bear in mind, let's first see the stuff itself.
In Elio is portrayed dead center in the film, to a distracting level, to an almost comical level.
I find it so funny that Film Threat initially brings up the supposed criticism of Elio by talking about the rule of thirds, even though that really has nothing to do with the quality of the film or the
section
made on Elio from these people. Even the ones that were phrased as actual reviews didn't really come off as real reviews.
Callisto, you gotta re-chapter your video. This is not the part that talks about plagiarism. You're not there yet. I've seen this part.
Or, against the grain, or
what does fucking your movie sucks have to do with this shit?
Films that aren't explicitly Disney films. That was a misconception on my part. So, man, it's not untrue what he's saying, but it reflects like a very narrow media diet. It reflects a very narrow consumption of films, which is always like that's like most of the issue I have with No,
Rian Johnson directed Last Jedi, which is basically every anti-woke grifter's favorite punching bag. So, of course, therein lies the motivation for Drinker to basically bash any film that Rian Johnson directs. He also did the same thing with the first Knives Out as well. However, it was his Glass Onion review that gained a lot of notoriety for him just straight up lying about different scenes in order to sell this idea that Rian Johnson is consistently a terrible filmmaker. He does this all throughout this review, but one of the most notable examples is where he's talking about the scene where Blanc spots Dave Bautista's character seeing his girlfriend in an affair with Miles. In particular, he tries to claim that Rian rewrote this scene because he's a bad filmmaker and a total hack. When in actuality, if you play these scenes with the sound on, which mysteriously enough, when Drinker decided to talk about this, he muted these clips, you can actually see exactly why it shows up like this.
You absolute fucking liar. I am sick and tired of this idiot blindly repeating talking points, which is what seems like an absolute dereliction of scrutiny.
Oh, here's the thing. That is a point that was repeated. Do I think it's plagiarism? I don't know. I'd have to hear them side by side again. I think Callisto does show them side by side, so I can get a better judgment. But that is a point repeated by verbatim, almost verbatim. I guess it would be counted as at least dishonest not to cite the original source. So, Pillar of Garbage, in a very widely watched response to Critical Drinker's Glass Onion review, talks about this exact same point.
Actually, scratch that. By now I am positive OtterlyNoah does not even have the intellectual capacity to think his words through. Essentially, OtterlyNoah is repeating a criticism originally made by Pillar of Garbage.
Here we go.
As I said in a previous video in which I responded to another YouTuber recycling Pillar of Garbage's video, Critical Drinker did not mute the audio. He has replaced the film's audio with his own voice recording to show his analysis of the scene.
Like this scene where Batista's watching his girlfriend.
Okay, but Calesta, that is... He is muting the audio. He's having a voiceover, but he's also muting the audio. So that's not effective. Point is, though, Pillar of Garbage made this critique first, and Noah echoed it. Verbatim. Not verbatim, but like the same point again and again. Does this mean that he plagiarized Pillar of Garbage? Well, that's, I think, Pillar of Garbage's call to say. But when I first heard this, it did click in my brain. It did click. This sounds familiar, because I heard it first watching this Calesto video. I didn't realize that Noah had put this point in this video. But let's keep
supposedly having an affair with Miles, only to be observed by Blanc. Now look at the later version of this exact same scene. Notice how Helen's been added in here when she totally should have been visible before.
With this logic, he has manipulated every other scene he has discussed in his review. Hell, everyone is manipulating footage with this logic. And
yes, everyone who does a review of everything is manipulating the footage. That's the nature of editing. But again, it's more about presenting something to the audience or leaving information out. But that's just the nature of video essaying. It's what you include, what you don't include, what you show, what you don't show. I don't know. But again, Noah's just echoing what other people had said very successfully. This is not a strong point, though, because the strongest points are at the end of the video, because of course it is. Let's cut ahead a little bit. Oh, there I am. Oh, cool. I have my face right there. Neat. I have a little cameo coming up. Okay, so again...
them leaning out and her moving behind him. The evidence is irrefutable from the very media being discussed. There is now only one...
Okay, so
and at first we're led to assume that it's Blanc.
Yeah, it's the same point Pillar of Garbage made. There you go. Okay, cool. I just cut it down to... I cut out like 8 minutes of the video.
That caused this twig to snap when he peeked out from the bush. Later, we're shown more of this scene, and we actually get to see that it was Helen who caused the twig to snap, and she was there watching with Blanc.
Yep, same point Pillar of Garbage made, beat by beat by beat. Now, I want to point out here, I did not hear about this until long after everything else. This is not something I heard of in the initial discussion. This is a new thing for me. I only heard about this weekend. And I'm like, yeah, that tracks. That all tracks. I have issues with Calesto's video in general. These points are worth discussing, though.
Before I continue, I have to address an argument that will inevitably be brought up by those defending Noah. That being, Noah has already admitted to his behavior, apologized for his errors, and implemented a plan to ensure he is no longer plagiarizing creators on the platform. Thus, there is no reason to bring this up. I would ask in the hypothetical, instead of Noah who was caught for plagiarizing, that it was instead Drinker, Nerdrotic, or somebody else. What would Noah and his friends do?
Major point. This is a point it's repeated to me multiple times in the last weekend. What would we do? I know what we would do. I know exactly what we do because we did it last week. When the quartering was caught, copyright striking the Kino Casino, whatever it is. It's amazing how many times Kino comes up in this discussion. We criticized him publicly. We made fun of it. We didn't go as hard as some of his own side did. No, certainly not. But we did point and we said that's not the right way to do things. We react to the information presented to us. So here's the problem. When Noah was caught plagiarizing, we did not react as effectively as we should have. I will get into how my reaction influenced others around me. We will get to that. Because a lot was going on behind the scenes that are not well known, that I'm going to get into to some extent. That I think is important to remember. We'll get into that.
They would make video after
There we
video
go.
until all of the meat
that guy.
was picked off the bone
There you go.
clean. There would be no consideration, no mercy,
none,
no quarter given.
Not an ounce.
The idea that he could make video after video criticizing others while simultaneously plagiarizing other YouTubers so brazenly is beyond ironic. Just because, in this case, it's your sacred cow or favorite YouTuber does not mean he is above criticism, or it can just be swept under the rug with an underwhelming apology.
He's right. He's entirely right. Everything he just said is correct.
With that being taken care of, let's dig into what actually happened. This entire saga has a lot of details. I will only be covering the important parts. An additional note is that not every detail will be in chronological order, but overall most events will be. The individuals involved in this situation are numerous. However, one of the chief individuals calling out Noah was a YouTuber named Shamu, with Shamu accusing Noah of plagiarism. Some barbs were traded back and forth on Twitter.
Let's pause a little bit here. So here's what gets frustrating. So what Shamu's saying, I'm trying to look into the video to see the thumbnail, because, again, it would be better if he showed all the information more clearly. Hey, any chance that you can get a source for my video in your description? I don't care when people use my stuff, typically. I typically ask for a source in the description. A lot of it is me using the direct video I noticed when I watched. Noah then talked about his video getting more views as a way to dismiss it. In response to another creator in our field just asking, hey, can I get a credit because you used my source? Noah talked about fucking view counts. This was the first thing I should have seen. I saw it, but I didn't see it. I knew about it, but I didn't think of it. I saw this exchange, and for whatever reason, it entered my brain, and then it just as quickly left my brain. Because I guess there was so much shit going on, it just exited my head. And the way I spoke to, and when I talked to Noah, he talked in a way that made me think something else was going on. Pure idiocy. Pure idiocy on my part. This was all public stuff. This was discussed, and for whatever reason, I saw it, and it didn't sink in. It was an oversight on my part to not realize what this was a sign of beforehand. And for that, I am wrong. I am the one who has put the clown makeup on, because I saw this and went, oh, that's bad. And then it just didn't influence my later actions. Why? I would like to be charitable and say maybe it's just so many things going on, it just didn't stick in memory. I didn't think of it at the time, and it kind of left my head. And I only recalled this happening, this particular exchange, when reviewing this video before the stream. Or maybe, because I only knew about it because of the stream that would eventually go on, where Shamu talked to Noah, and there was a bunch of other people on there too. The grueling 3-hour stream that was exhausting to sit through, but again, and my eyes glazed over multiple times watching it, but it was there. So what's my excuse? There is no excuse. There is only my own screw up, not thinking of it, not realizing it. And that fucking sucks to know that. It wasn't any malicious plan, there wasn't any plot to keep him safe. It's just it didn't stick in memory. And isn't that fucking pathetic? That's fucking pathetic in my opinion. For me.
In some instances, Noah actually claimed that he had the most popular video on the topic, insinuating Shamu was just jealous. Eventually, a few more people were discovered to already have...
This is the big one. Remember this name right here. Vincent Parverel. In fact, everyone watching should subscribe to Vincent Parverel and Shamu. if you want to make up for some of what Noah has done to this community, subscribe to these guys. They're the ones making the videos that, and political garbage too. They're the ones who made the material that Noah then appropriated to build himself up. Listen, I could make the excuse that this was around, but we'll get to what I was working on when else was happening too. Because again, that plays a role, I guess. It's not an excuse, but, we're busy. We're doing a lot of stuff all at once. And shit just doesn't sink in your brain sometimes if you're not paying attention to it. If you don't pay attention to it, stuff like this happens. And that's one key lesson I want to instill with this stream. If you're not paying attention, if you're not prevalent, if you're not focused, if you're not looking at every detail as it comes out, you will allow yourself to screw up. And maybe nothing bad will happen. Maybe we have a minor thing, not important. But if the screw up compounds and compounds and compounds, eventually you got a big fucking problem. You spill a piece of cheese on the floor, you pick it up, no big deal, right? Well, that cheese now sitting in the corner, you don't know what's going on. That shit's getting moldy, that shit's drawing mice, it's drawing cockroaches. And now you have an infestation in your house because you didn't check the cheese when it fell the first time. Simple mistake. You knew the cheese fell. Maybe it fell on the ground. I'll find it eventually. I'll vacuum it up. I'll Swifter it. I'll brush it up or broom it or whatever. I'll find it. Someone will find it. It'll get caught eventually. If there's a problem, I'd know about it. What's that damn smell? I'll figure it out eventually. Why are there bugs in the house? This is my piece of cheese. This is the cheese left under the counter that I forgot about, that rotted and drew the roaches. And now, this entire stream up until this point, we are fucking fumigating. That is what's happening here.
Have come forward accusing Noah of plagiarism. On the same day, January 27th, a video released by Ryle Kittenhouse documented more instances of Noah's plagiarism.
The Kyle Kittenhouse. The Ryle Kittenhouse. God. So many people with your freaking names. This video is the most compelling piece of evidence of plagiarism against Noah. We will get to the stream, though, because Calestro shows the whole stream in a heartbeat.
Plagiarism. For some odd reason, Noah was confident that he didn't do anything wrong. A live stream was soon set up to address the allegations, and, it didn't go well for him at all.
Yeah.
Okay. You're fucking retarded, first of all. Where do you draw the line? How do you know what to credit and what to not credit? Where do you draw the line there? What do you credit and what do you not credit? Where is
My guy, you just called me retarded. I don't think I need to address.
I did call you fucking retarded, dipshit. Did you hear the question after the fact?
I don't know, man. It doesn't really feel like you're hearing good.
Listen, I'm not gonna I'm gonna let this play out. We're all in chat. I was in chat this time. They'll show my messages as I'm talking along the way. I asked during this chat for Noah to make me a mod because people were doxing him. That's the only reason I stuck around this chat to begin with. I clipped it on when I was like going to the bathroom, something like that. I saw someone putting out Noah's whole dox in chat, and they said, "Hey, listen, Noah, make me a mod. People are spreading your dox. I'll just, kick them or whatever." And then I sat for the whole thing. All the excruciating 3 hours of this exhausting, boring conversation. This was a conversation that had 2 hours of just repetitive back and forth. And in the very last part of it, they played the Vincent clip. And that is where the heaviest evidence was. That's where the big pieces of evidence were at that point. Because otherwise, talking about like, oh, I put a picture on Twitter and you used it in a video. I'm like, okay, what is this? And then at the end, my tune changed. And you'll see that. And thankfully, Calestro puts out my image, my chat changing tone as we go here. So you can all see the transition from my starting point to my end point in chat. So it's preserved. Let's take a look at it.
Repeat myself since you're like a fucking sub fucking 30 IQ piece of shit.
All right.
What is your criteria for crediting shit? Do you have one?
We will get to this in a second.
You having a drink?
I think it's. I feel like that's where this is headed.
I mean, holy shit, I have not seen a beatdown this bad in a while. Noah had on several other creators to address the allegations. The individuals were Dickers, The British Runner, Morau, Nick Andros, and Shamu. I will not be going through this entire live stream.
God, thank God. Also, this is a bit of PR training to anyone who is ever doing anything. Never, under any circumstance, invite multiple people criticizing you to the same stream at once. Never do that. I have said this multiple times in the past. Shutting the fuck up is sometimes your best option. If you shut the fuck up, you can't say something stupid and put your foot in your mouth. You don't come across as arrogant when you get your ass kicked. Sometimes, and this is a controversial statement on the internet where everyone can say whatever the hell they want, stopping is beneficial to the bottom line that you're trying to get to. Sometimes your best option is to say, not a fucking thing. Vital lesson to learn. Let's keep going.
This video will contain the important segments discussing Noah's egregious plagiarism. The first instance of Noah's plagiarism that is discussed is his use of Shamu's content for his video about Tectone.
Okay, so just to be super clear, because this is my read on the situation. You've sat out, seen all the funny Tectone content, or all the Templar content that people are cutting, thought that you'd go in for it as well. Super cool. Your stuff is like anti-woke people, right?
Yeah.
Over half of this video is about Tectone's allegations in the past. It's got nothing to do with his Christian grift. Not really. But you've seen that the Shamu video is popping off, and a lot of people have celebrated it. A lot of people reacted to it on streams. A lot of people have talked about it. He's got an exclusive interview with Tectone, right? And then you've thought, oh, okay, cool. I can condense this.
Wait, he got an interview with Tectone? When was that?
Did you? In the DMs. You've watched the video, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, I thought. Well, he did. I know he DM'd him at one point. I didn't think it was like an interview though.
Yeah, text interview.
What's going on, Westside Tyler? Yeah, no, this is what I saw on your stream last day, this whole part. Okay, so let's keep going with this. So right here is an important note to make. Right here is something I want to point out. Noah is creating content in reaction to someone else making a similar video. I saw this with Noah myself, actually. I put out a video a couple months ago about The Second Story, who is a channel that I think she's nuts, to put it mildly. I think she's full of crap. But I went through her video and they talked about, oh, this is why this is wrong, this is why this is wrong. At the same time, I'm talking to Crimes New Roman, and he puts out a video about Second Story as well, which is pretty successful on his channel. So just coincidentally enough, Noah knows I'm making a video. Noah knows Crimes is making a video. And so Noah puts out his own Second Story video talking about Second Story's first video, talking about Oppenheimer. Now, is that plagiarism? No, it's not. It's not plagiarism. None of us were, as far as I know, it's not plagiarism. Because none of us were talking about Oppenheimer. We're talking about her other stuff. But it is Noah following the trend. It's Noah following the leader. This is important. Because Noah follows the leader. In this case, I think it was Nick. Who was it who said this? This was Dickers who said this, or Nick Andros? It's Nick Andros' voice, yeah. As you see here, a video of freaking Tectone popped off. Noah made a video about it. That's not plagiarism. It is, again, that's the name of the game on YouTube. You know, you want to make sure your content sells or gets an audience. Make something popular. Follow the pursuit. The average YouTuber online will make content by seeing what his or her or their peers do, and then going, "Oh, that looks like it's successful. I can do my spin on it." And then you do your spin on it, and you make it distinct in your own voice and your own thing. And then someone else sees that and goes, "I can make that myself," and they do their own spin on it. But the idea of it is, that's very important, is that I want to emphasize here, and why Noah is pissing me off so much now, in hindsight especially, is because this whole time, I thought Noah had something to say. I thought Noah had something important he wanted to say online. Well, I was wrong. Noah doesn't have anything to say. Noah wants to be known as someone who said something. Noah isn't here to say his own thoughts. Noah is here to be known as the guy who said them. Yeah. And he pals around with a bunch of other creators who he knows are talented. He's nice to them. He says what he says at certain times, has a perspective on matters he knows, and then he encourages them to contribute to his work. One of the first things I did was I wanted to elevate creators of various backgrounds, because YouTube's hard. YouTube's hard, guys. People, can make amazing content and just never pop off. And a creator right now who's under 50,000 subs, under 20,000 subs, who makes freaking great stuff and just can't find their audience. They're working their butts off every week, making something new and exciting and creative. And for whatever reason, the algorithm doesn't put them in front of the eyes of the audience. Well, what I wanted to do was bring people up. I'm having a bit of a successful surge right now. I want to elevate people with me. Not because necessarily... I want to make sure people... Because I think a rising tide lifts all ships. I think if everyone's helping each other out and doing good, we can all elevate and do good things together, whatever that might be. And I lifted Noah up thinking he was a guy with something to say and it should be put in front of people's faces. My first mistake was trusting people.
Oh,
Ask some questions is what I mean.
All right.
Yeah.
I assumed you meant over voice.
You've seen that video.
Okay.
You've seen that it's very successful. A lot of people are talking about it, and you think you can summarize that video for the first chapter of your video, right? And just include it in that. You've taken the information from there. You've taken the clips from there. You told the story of Tectone, and you've done it predominantly through researching by watching Shamu's video and summarizing it, right?
There was definitely a lot of research that was in his video, but I did pull some things from other places too, like other clips of Tectone.
Okay, but primarily, you've set about to use Shamu's video as a framework to be able to base the first chapter of that video, right?
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
Okay. Now, why did you do that and think that it was fine not to credit Shamu?
Honestly, I genuinely...
I see a comment here on Noah's autism videos. I see people in chat saying, Noah's autism video is pretty good though, right? I want you all to hold on to that thought. Because I'm going to say something before this stream's over, that will salt the earth. I'll get there.
Did not think it counted as plagiarism. He's showing clips of Tectone. Clips of Tectone are not owned by Shamu, though.
Yeah, but he's edited them together. He's stitched them together. He's gone out and done the legwork and done the research to be able to point out why these are relevant and to be able to collect them. Watch the archives that are on Plazuka's channel. I mean, you cut out the credit to Plazuka's as well, who's the guy who's archived a lot of this stuff already. So it feels like other people are doing the legwork for a lot of this content, and then you're swooping in at the end, watching Shamu's summarization, and then using that for the basis of yours, and not crediting any of the people along the way.
That's valid then. I can understand that.
It comes down. That's the whole problem with not doing the clear crediting with stuff, because if you just put things in the description.
Because so far as I'm aware,
important here too. Myself included with this part, I thought the problem was a lack of proper citation. A big thing in discussion in general is people don't really know how to cite things. If I put an article on screen, I cite it. When I say something, I'm putting the article I'm referencing on screen, author included, sometimes publication, specific line quotes from it when I'm talking about it. It's an important thing. I think is very important because you gotta say where you got your stuff from. Some people have a whole list of article links and all that. Some people have video links. I do a mix, depending on what it is. Citing work is important. A lot of people don't understand that part. My sympathies initially were, okay, he is making an error in some way. He's not figuring it out. He is missing some instrumental part of proper citation. And so I'm sympathetic at this point. I'm thinking, oh, he doesn't know. And Noah has a GED. He never went to university. He doesn't have a college background. As we found out during the Beckett stream, he didn't even know what Turnitin was. the Beckett-Fauci scream, which in hindsight, that's a whole other bag of worms we're not going to get into right now. We don't have time to unpack all of that. But yeah, so his background is limited with academia. So I'm thinking the issue is citation. The issue is he doesn't know that he has to cite people's work when he draws from it. I think it's dumb that he doesn't know that, but the American education system's all screwed up. Maybe he just didn't know. I'm making excuses already for him. You see the problem here? My first thought process is, oh, okay, he's got to not know this important thing that you have to know. He's not familiar with something. I'm thinking, my brain's already making excuses for him. That's the problem, isn't it? The first instinct is to go, there has to be some justification for this. He just doesn't know what he's talking about. He's not educated. I can point him in the direction of some citation stuff. That's no big deal. We'll get him on the Purdue Owl or whatever it is, get him going, That's the thought process. The wheels turn a certain way, and that's not fucking right, is it? Because we wouldn't be doing this if the drinker did this whole thing. If this was the drinker in this position being grilled out by four of, Birdman, myself, and someone else, or Eric DeBunks, whatever, we'd all be going like, yeah, no, why don't you know this? You couldn't. You're a grown-ass man. How do you not know about freaking basic citation stuff? But we're infantilizing him, aren't we? We're projecting sympathies on Noah already, instinctively. At least my side is. And that allows bad behavior to permeate. Because what's the hard stance? Where's the foot in the ground that says, no, you cannot not cite information? And to make matters worse, it does get worse. So let's keep going.
Shamu, tell me if I'm fucking wrong. All you wanted was a credit in the description, right?
Yeah, Noah is 23. And by the way, this is all over a credit. All Shamu wants is a credit in the description. This entire stream, and by the way, this is Noah's channel. Noah set this stream up. Noah invited all of his ops in one place, and a couple people on his side, to argue this over a credit. Just give the guy a fucking credit. You cited him. Basic shit. Basic shit.
I'm literally not. I let everyone use my stuff, and honestly, a credit in the description is not even good enough for what he did, because he literally just downloaded my video, and if you've edited anything ever, he just used the video file and then uploaded that. It's honestly ridiculous.
Because there's more comments that you've made about Shamu as well. You've claimed that he's a tiny commentary channel who's just really, really annoyed because your video did better than his. You can understand why that'd piss him off, right?
That definitely makes sense. I think I
need to get diapers later for my son. So I got an urgent message during stream. Buy diapers. Okay, babe.
Not caught up in the emotion.
Do you admit that you did, by definition, I guess, plagiarize Shamu's content?
I am more than happy to admit that. Yes, absolutely.
In real time, Noah goes from extremely confident to admitting that he plagiarized Shamu. Notice that Shamu also stated that for what Noah did, a simple citation is not enough, given the extent to which Noah ripped his video. This was not just a matter of citation. Do not forget that. Later, after admitting to plagiarism, Noah complains that this whole affair should have been done in private.
Don't know why, because you've said this on Twitter as well. You've cried that people have made this a public thing. You've done something wrong. In fact, Shamu tried to reach out to you. You claim you never saw those messages, but whatever. We'll call that a wash. Okay. You claim that you never saw them, right? But it's not on other people to come out to you, and they've not done something wrong by speaking about it publicly, right? Because they did speak about it publicly, and you've taken a strong stance that not...
I want to point out something, too, that's important here. A lot of these people, after Noah made his apology, also stuck around him. For example, Wargaming Dad right there. That was the same guy who showed up right here. Remember? Right here. Wargaming Dad, same guy as right here. So he was on stream, too. He saw all this, too, and still stuck by Noah. So many people stuck by Noah, myself especially included here, after this controversy. All of us were taken for a ride because we thought, you know what? He screwed up. He was publicly humiliated, criticized, but he'll learn. He can learn. I believe he can learn. What a bunch of fucking dumb clowns we all are.
None of this is plagiarism, and that you didn't do anything wrong. such that initially you did include Nicandros in the credits for this video, and then you took him out. And so the problem here is not anybody talking about it publicly. The problem has been your response consistently.
Yeah, scripting.
Again,
That's also, again, plagiarism. That's unethical.
Like what I think this could have just been an email, though.
Now, why do you think he said this could have been an email, though? Why did he say that? Well, guess who was in the comments that day? Guess who typed out after listening to this conversation go back and forth for 2 hours. And by the way, these minutes of points were all the points they really made in those 2 hours, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Guess who in the comments was so annoyed by this going on and dragging out and going on and on and on without moving the fuck on to the next point, without going to the most compelling piece of evidence ultimately? Said, this could have been an email. Why are you still arguing over it? Not knowing at this time that Shamu had already messaged Noah. Maybe they said it during a stream. I don't fucking know. My ears melted at a certain point. This was mind-numbing to listen to. This was so freaking boring. This was the most boring things I've ever listened to, but I stayed on stream because, people were doxing Noah, and I felt, it's my responsibility to show up and, knock off the doxing. And I'm just sitting there, so bored. And I just typed a message in saying, this could have been an email. Noah read the comments section multiple times throughout this whole stream and took the talking points I said in chat during the stream.
What's this point worth, though?
And there's evidence for this.
What's the point you're making?
Because they're gonna show it.
No, hold on. Because I've already said that to him, right?
Handle this civilly and in private, yes.
Okay, what's the point? What's the point you're trying to make?
Could have, literally, this entire stream could have been, just an email. That's what I. That's
Well, first of all, you decided to hold on. Okay. The problem is you decided to stream this, and you've decided to respond to this publicly, right? And you've denied all wrongdoing. So I don't know why.
Also, why the fuck Noah made this a stream? I have no idea. Just fucking put the citation in. It's not complicated. Just cite him. He asked to be cited. Hell, re-edit the video. Cut around it. Say, hey, maybe even better yet, make it a collaboration. Give him some of the attention, the subscriber base. There's many things you could have done that were better than just ignoring it.
Complaining that people have reached out to you privately. Yeah, now you will.
Until this point.
2 hours ago, you were saying that he was just jealous because you got a higher viewed video.
Again, because I wasn't really sure after Wargaming Dad stream, but
Don't stop blaming Wargaming Dad. Stop blaming Wargaming Dad.
Again, same thing. Direct towards another target. It's not me. It's my artist. It's not this. It's Truge. It's not me. It's Wargaming Dad. It's not me. Anthony is approving my scripts. We'll get that in a second, too. Don't worry.
You are your own person who can come to your own fucking conclusions, okay? The decision and your decisions around all of this and the things that you've said and done are on you. Don't try and blame Wargaming Dad. You are an adult, aren't you?
That is completely valid.
Obviously, the reason for this was to avoid being exposed publicly so Noah could still maintain his reputation. If you look at the chat during this time, you can see his community saying the same thing, and even his friends saying
look,
that this
look,
should
Gary,
have been
there I
done
am.
privately.
There I am, Gary. See? If we do the time code, I'm pretty sure it syncs up to right before Noah says this could have been an email for the first time. In fact, I am willing to bet. Well, I won't bet money on it because that actually, for all I know, it would be desynced to some shit like that. Or I misremember it, so I won't bet money on it. But I'm confident, very confident, that comment came before Noah made it. Isn't that funny? That should have been it. But then again, I think my rationale at the time was, you know what? Noah's spiraling. He's freaking out. He's not a right state of mind. He's getting anxious. Yeah, I'll lend him a hand. I'll give him a comment. That's fine, Noah. You're all right. You're just spiraling right now. I'm making excuses for him as he's copying me directly. I am making excuses for him even as he's actively copying what I write. There's not enough clown makeup in the world to paint the face of the clown face on my face right now. How many red flags am I going to miss with my rose-tinted glasses? There's that one line from, and I'm going to cite my sources with that one. I'm referencing BoJack Horseman with that line. It's not a very sophisticated reference. You all know BoJack Horseman. It's an obvious line. They post it on Tumblr every fucking time they talk about that show. It's a very well-known quote that, you know, when you're wearing rose-tinted glasses, all red flags look like just flags. Something to that effect. That's how I was. Everything was rose-tinted. Every single negative sign was seen through a veneer that blinded me to what was obviously happening in front of me. If I just objectively looked at the situation like I would a normal situation, his ass would have been at the door in seconds. Gone. Fuck him. But I didn't. I looked at it through the lens of, you know what? He's panicking. He's anxious. He's scared. He brought this on himself, sure, but you know what? He's a good guy. He's trying to do the right thing at some level, but he's not educated enough. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And I just blinded myself up until one thing came up. There was one thing that broke through the veneer and got me extremely angry. Let's get to it.
Simultaneously, you can see other individuals
there we go.
calling out
Deserved.
the insane
Deserved
sweeping.
for my part.
Then, another example of Noah's plagiarism is brought up. In this case, Noah plagiarized Norel, another YouTuber. Subsequently, Vincent Pavarel's video...
You're kind of glossing over that. So in this situation, Noah took footage that Norel had put together, completely edited with like circles and special edits into it, and plugged it into his video without any credit. That was the first thing I saw where I'm like, hang on, what? You didn't cite him? You took the edits they included, but you didn't cite him? My tune started to change. I'm like, wait a second, hold on here. Let's take a step back. What? You didn't put a little underlined thing? You know, listen, there are times when I've shown footage from other creators on it, but you know what I always do? Bottom left of the screen, video title, name of the creator. Hell, when I use gameplay footage, I still cite the creator because it's important to do so. And if ever I don't cite it, it's because I cited it before and it's the same footage again. But I've already cited them. Should I cite them again? Yeah, I think so. Sometimes it's an oversight I've tried to correct ever since then. But those are, in those situations, I'm still citing the creator. And I'll see in the comments someone say, oh, I saw my gameplay. I didn't think anyone saw that. Thank you for giving me a shout out. You know, basic shit like that goes a long way. Because we're all in this fucking abyss of YouTube together. We're all together on this, and we're all we have. We're all toiling away in little boxes, and a little bit of a shout out occasionally is nice. Yeah, it's the best practice. It's the best practice you can include. It's a small little thing. It is so small. It doesn't take long. It takes maybe you go through the video before you publish it and you just make sure, oh, I forget this, I forget that. Oh, maybe put a little citation or a link in the description, or you have a link to a drop to a little Word doc or like a document of some kind that you cite. Something small. It goes a long way. And it's not just about making sure they know where you got your references. It's making sure if someone saw something and you're interested in reading more, they know where to go next. Because it's not about you. It's about us. The ideas we discuss, the collective discussion here. It's so essential. It's so essential to give people a little bit of a shout out. Basic shit. Basic fucking shit.
Is discussed when watching Ryle Kittenhouse's breakdown of Noah's plagiarism.
And I'm even skipping on a couple. One of them, Better Man, was a massive box office disaster. But let's not use box office as a metric to determine a film's quality for a moment.
Better Man was actually a pretty decent and unique music biopic about the British singer Robbie Williams that unfortunately ended up being a big flop for Paramount. But let's take a step back and not use box office to determine whether a film is actually good or not, Jester Bell.
Having a unique energy to it, incredible dance sequences,
some absolutely gorgeous dance sequences all throughout.
And an interesting twist of turning the star into a CGI monkey that actually works when you watch the film.
And also a pretty unique gimmick of having Robbie Robin Williams portrayed as a CGI monkey to sort of symbolize how he's always felt like an outcast party animal throughout most of his life.
Snow White came out in March. So let's go to that specific month and see what were the notable titles that came out. We had Mickey 17, Novocaine, Black Bag, and Looney Tunes The Day the Earth Blew Up, which is really good and underrated, by the way. For those who love animation, I suggest you guys check it out.
So you went out of your way once again to watch Snow White, a movie that already looked bad from the marketing, and instead of watching something like, I don't know, Looney Tunes The Day the Earth Blew Up, a much better movie that was also in theaters around this exact time.
And later, the Minecraft movie, like...
It is a mid movie.
The Minecraft movie, like... Even the films.
The Minecraft movie is mid, yes.
But you know what else came out in April that wasn't mid? Sinners. Alright, you don't care about it.
But again, that came out in April, and you know what else came out in April? Sinners, which you yourself admitted you didn't see before.
So that's what I was able to find in about 2 hours of looking. I wanted to get this out immediately and see OtterlyNoah's response before I look any deeper. Other than that, thanks for watching.
And I can see why Vincent might think I plagiarism as well.
You think so, huh? This is where the glasses came off at this point. The rose-tinted glasses, they shattered at this point. Why I picked them back up afterwards was a fucking fool's quest, but, you know, let's keep going. I'll explain my reasoning. You can judge me after that point. On what level of stupidity? Was it trust, naivety, or idiocy? We'll get there. But let's first see where it goes from here.
That definitely was, like, I didn't mean to come off that way.
Creators, it's not like it's coming off. It's like, that's what you did, right? It's not about coming off at all. I mean, you did just, like, steal his points. Beat by
yes,
bit,
that is 100%. Okay, that is completely valid there.
In this specific case, OtterlyNoah has a beat-for-beat recreation of Vincent's video. This is shameless. And again, you can see his chat in real time realize what is happening.
Yep,
Noah
there you go.
again admits that he plagiarized.
Credit to Callisto to showing my reaction before and after that part. Because, yeah, that is rough is the understatement of the day. I was actually mad. I was not as mad as I am now. But I was pissed. I'm going to stop here to discuss where I went with this afterwards, because I think this is an important stopping point. Noah spiraled after this. He went on different streams. He ran a stream afterwards. He talked to Kino Flex. He talked to Beckett and Falgi. He went back and forth talking to whoever listened to him as he spiraled. And during this stream, before he talked on... Actually, it's because of the Beckett stream I decided to give him another chance. Which sounds weird. Because on that he said that he had no idea what Turnitin was. And that made me think, oh, he's not educated. He doesn't know. Maybe this is a learning experience. Because I have a background working with people, you know, educating, academia, that kind of thing. I'm thinking, okay, maybe... I'm not blaming Beckett. I'm just saying that's where I first heard it. I go, okay. So I'm following everything Noah's doing right now. I'm going like, because I'm pissed. I'm like fuming. Where are you going next, Noah? What are you doing? Please stop. Stop talking to people. And he's messaging me going, oh, you know, this, that, and the other. I'm like, dude, fucking just stop talking. Calm your ass down. Maybe talk to someone afterwards, but don't fucking talk to people. All right? Shut the fuck up, and I'll think about what I'm going to do with you next. What is Turnitin? Turnitin is a program that checks for plagiarism. It's very popular in American schools. At least it was. Maybe it's not anymore. I don't know if they have a better one now. But when I was in high school, Turnitin, and in college, Turnitin was the de facto program where you turned it in and it would use a program to figure out, did you steal your language from something else? Is it the same structure, same sentence structure, same words chosen? Whatever degree it is. And it'll tell you how much of a percentage it is that is stolen. And usually it would just be the citations you include that will catch, and that's about it. And some teachers wouldn't even accept your paper if it had a point score of 20% or higher. Because you have quotes, you know, sure, okay, whatever. But anything more than that? What's the context for those similarities? What's going on there? They still use Turnitin. Good. It's a good program, I think, for teachers. But now they use AI detectors, I think. Because kids use AI constantly for their papers. So I'm thinking, okay, Noah just isn't experienced. So I decided to reach out to someone different. I'm not going to say who I spoke to that night, but I spoke to someone because, you know, you're online long enough, you talk to people, you make friends with folks. I know a few people who were involved in the James Summerton story. And I asked someone involved for feedback, and I said, hey, listen, I won't say who, because I don't want anyone to harass anyone else. I said, hey, listen, I have a peer who was just caught plagiarism. I don't know if they did it maliciously. I'm not sure yet. I just know they did something. And that you have experience with this. What do you think I should do? And the advice I was given was, you know, take a look. Keep, you know, don't do anything yet. Be calm. Don't burn bridges. But keep your eyes open. You know, it could be they don't know any better. They could be doing something foolish and could learn from it. But, and this is the key but that I'm taking advantage of right now, that I'm remembering right now. If they show you who you are, believe them. If after this point they show you who they are, listen. And that's what I did. Noah then made a statement. Let's go down a little more. This was a while back he did this. And Noah, why are you fucking posting about Twitter beef on YouTube? I don't get some of these posts. I don't get it. Okay. Metatron, okay. He's nostalgia. About 2 months ago. Video on autism is done. Okay, I'll get to that in a second. Some changes happening in the channel. Here we go. So I'm going to read the entire thing from Noah right here. This was his statement after the fact. Today we did a stream discussing how 4x videos lifted content from other creators, that being Shamu, Vincent, Paravel, and Neryl. Their content was featured in the videos Anti-Woke Religious Gamers, Unintentionally Hilarious, Shamu's clips from some of his own expose, and his own edits, Disney and OpenAI, The Unholy Marriage, Neryl's own clips of True Lies on 4K. A video I also cited, but I made sure Neryl was cited in the results on one of my old videos. And debunking Justabel's abysmal anti-woke take on 2025 movies. Vincent's own wording is very similar to mine at some points. That's an understatement there, but okay. I didn't think it was plagiarism until I had a discussion with the British runner, Nick Andros, Shamu, and Dickers. I've come to the realization it was plagiarism. I am sorry for this. This was absolutely a mistake on my part. I've also owned up to these claims and will do better crediting people in the future. We then got to his apology. Let's watch that for a second.
Hi everyone, this is OtterlyNoah. If you have kept up with the ongoings of the channel recently, you're probably aware I was recently accused of plagiarizing in 3 separate videos. These videos were my video called Debunking Justabel's Abysmal Anti-Woke Take on 2025 Movies, my video called Anti-Woke Religious Gamers Are Unintentionally Hilarious, and my video called Disney and OpenAI, The Unholy Marriage. These videos did not have their sources cited correctly, and the sources were as follows here. Vincent Paravel's video for the Justabel video talking about her takes on 2025 movies, Shamu's Tectone video featured in the Anti-Woke Religious Gamers video and his clip edits of Tectone, and Neryl, whose footage of aliens and True Lies on 4K were used in my Disney and OpenAI video. I absolutely made a mistake, and I want to apologize, and I will cite every single video source properly in my videos going forward. Plagiarism is no small thing, whether it's done intentionally or even unintentionally, and it is something I do take very seriously, so I want to take very specific measures to ensure something like this cannot possibly happen again in the future. I think there are a lot of changes that need to take place for how I make the Hunting Brickley Bears videos going forward, so that this is something that can assuredly never happen again, and every single source in my videos is consistent
consistently cited properly. First off, it is very clear to me at this point I cannot be pressuring myself to put out a big video every week. It is clearly taking a toll on how accurately I can make media criticism videos in general, and ultimately is affecting my work-life balance even more. So going forward, first and foremost, I am not going to pressure myself to put out a new video weekly. I want my content, regardless of what the subject is, to be the best quality it can be, and that involves taking the proper time and care to make sure everything included in the video is truly cited and accounted for. Not driving myself to put out a video weekly, I think, is going to help a lot with making sure I'm giving myself the time to ensure everything is properly stated and cited in every single video I make, and also give myself the proper self-care as well that I need. If a video just so happens to come out in a week's time, that's great, but I'm not going to pressure myself to consistently put out a video every week. Secondly,
okay, I think you heard enough right there. Chat. He's reading a script. We all know that. It's YouTube. We all read scripts. We write them ourselves. Ideally, we write them ourselves. We put them out. This was one of 2 scripts I reviewed for Noah. He sent me a script. I told him what I thought of it. I told him, buddy, you gotta fucking rewrite your script. I gave him a list of things I told him to fix, and then I didn't look at it again. He did not plagiarize this because his first version was vastly worse. This is version 2 after I gave him a single pass and told him, your apology will not fly if it comes out the way it is. I did not proofread it. I did not approve it. I just told you, here's what you need to do differently. I'm not going to, because I don't want to humiliate him. I don't want to go into specifics as to what, but the structure was totally different. He didn't include certain details about taking accountability for his actions. It was tons of deflecting in it. It started where it ended, pointing out because I'm going to show you something real quick. Because he insisted including this, and I'm like, listen, buddy, you didn't need this at all. This part right here.
of false claims that were brought up were A, claiming I should cite Kiwi
right here.
claims of plagiarism that do require some addressing. This doesn't in any way dismiss the actual legitimate claims of plagiarism, but currently is existing separate from all that. These examples of false claims that were brought up were A, claiming I should cite Kiwi Farms for a clip of Tactical Templar in my video unraveling Noxtaku's lies about world history, which already makes no sense on its own since Kiwi Farms is an aggregate site similar to Wikipedia. And
my phrasing there. Okay, so again, that's what I mentioned. I mentioned the aggregate. Yeah, one of the points I made in his chat was that Kiwi Farms is an aggregate site like Wikipedia, a collection of sources as opposed to a source itself. That's something I said in chat during his initial stream. He took that from me. However, he was going to start off with this point. This was where he was going to begin his apology. I didn't give him detailed notes. I just said, buddy, your script needs work. This will not go well if it goes out the way it is. And I am not taking accountability for what you put out if it's in its current form. Because he was going to credit me for looking at his script regardless. He sent it to me. So I'm like, buddy, and I'm thinking, but you know what? I'm thinking he's spiraling. He's young. He doesn't know how to deal with a crisis. He's panicking and not thinking things clearly. And because of that, I didn't see the pattern happening in front of him because he's doing the same thing he did in the War Gaming Dad back and forth too. Deflecting, redirecting your approach. And it was because of me. His apology was even as scripted as it is, even functioned at all. And then we get to this point.
There also was a doxing attempt that happened towards me around this time, which was a disappointing response as well. In the future, I hope we can see more people choosing to push creators up and giving them constructive advice on how to move forward and better themselves in the future, rather than resorting to behaviors such as that, or insulting them, or even just the opposite end of that, acting like nothing happened at all. Because the reality is, something did happen here. There were 3 examples of works not being properly cited in my videos, and those are mistakes I want to make sure can never happen again. I am hoping adopting this method of video making going forward will help not only everything get properly cited, but also just ensure I can create better content for everyone in the future, myself included. Plagiarism was a major mistake that I made in 3 of the videos that I mentioned prior, and I want to take accountability for that while also using it as a way to improve what I do in general. I want to be able to hold myself to the highest quality standard possible with my content going forward, and also ensuring every video is handled with this precise amount of care going forward will allow for that. Regardless, thank you to those who support what I do, and I hope to be able to take all of this as a learning experience and improve what I do here on YouTube so my videos can consistently be the best possible.
One second, I think I missed it.
Make things up for drama in the midst of actual examples of improper citations. There also was a doxing attempt that happened.
It's not there. Okay, so right here. Special thank you to Anthony Grimilli for proofreading this video and its script. Proofreading is a strong word. What I did was I looked at your script and gave you feedback. He then said I would proofread his scripts going forward. That is not true. I looked at one of his scripts. I looked at this one specifically. And here's why I mentioned the autism thing. This one right here, why autistic coded characters speak more to autistic people than written representation. So when this script came to me, what was that? February 9th, right? Okay. What was I working on February 9th? Let's take a look. Okay, February 9th, I'm working on, wow, we have a lot of people in chat. Wow. That was like, what 2 months ago, right? So I was working on, oh, that's right. So while he sent me this script, I think I was either working, okay, 9th, this was before that. I was working on this video. So I was working on my my Grifters versus Monster Lovers video at this point. And I was also at the same time prepping for my Shadiversity video. So these 2 big videos I'm working on at the same time. Noah sends me the script for this video, this autism one. And he's like, listen, can you look at it? And I'm like, okay, I'll take a look at it. You know, give me a little time. Okay, cool. I think that was the 8th. I think it was the 8th, yeah. The next day about 24 hours, by the way, I work a full-time job. I'm making videos myself. I'm making multiple videos at the same time. I'm collaborating with other people. My son is still a very, very young child. I have a few minutes to glance at it, at this script. I'm glancing at it quickly. I'm like, oh, this needs work, this is incorrect. The next day, he tells me, no, he doesn't tell me anything. He asks, hey, how are you doing the script? Like, oh, you know, I'm giving him feedback. You know, I'm saying, you know, I won't go into specifics. I don't want to embarrass Noah. There were some things there were some huge research issues, and I'm going to address that now as to why I inclined myself to believe the issue was structure rather than him actually stealing content. But as I'm working on it, he posts, hey, new video tomorrow. I'm like, new video tomorrow? I haven't even finished reading. I'm not even halfway through your script yet. What do you mean new video tomorrow? Like what are you talking about? He's like, oh, should I delay it? Like, yeah, delay it. I'm not done reading your script yet. What the fuck are you talking about? New video tomorrow. Your script's not even done yet. You're gonna film the entire thing, edit the entire thing, and put it out in tomorrow? Like at noon? Like, I'm not even halfway done with your damn script. And it's like the night before it's coming out? Less than 24 hours? That got me pissed. But what frustrated me more was how it was written. This document had no paragraphs. Notes were mixed in with full sentences, were mixed in with no punctuation, were mixed in with examples. There was no cohesion to this script. And this is how I knew he wasn't plagiarizing, in my perspective, because there were some things that were just, if he was plagiarizing, he would have gotten right. There was one thing, I'll reference one thing.
Over the past 40 years, autism representation in popular media has been very, very inconsistent to say the least.
Here we go.
autism representation. Things like Mercury Rising, The Good Doctor, Radio, Sia's music movie, and Black Manta's 2003 comic book where they try to cure him of having autism to make him not a violent supervillain anymore. Yes, that is somehow real.
Not quite what happened in the comic, but not what he wrote in the original script either. In the original script, Noah wrote the 2000-something miniseries for Black Manta said he became evil because he was autistic. That is not what happened in the comic. I know because I own the comic. I have read the comic. And just to make sure I wasn't misremembering it, I went back and dug it out of my garage to read said comic. And guess what? That's not what happens. He doesn't become evil because he's autistic. He's tortured in Arkham Asylum from his parents who bring him there, whatever. I forget exactly the specifics now. I'm saying it out loud. But he's brought to Arkham Asylum to be treated for his autism. And that trauma is one factor that makes him become Black Manta. And by the time the comic miniseries ends, he's cured of his autism magically. And that makes him less violent. But he's not a villain. He's just not as violent. And I go, Noah, how the fuck did you hear about this story? Like, I don't make fun of him yet, because I'm like, okay, where'd you get this information, buddy? And he's like, well, I was at a panel one time. I think it was Emerald Comic Con or whatever. And they said this. And here's the PowerPoint, actually. He had the PowerPoint on hand. The reason I was convinced that he wasn't plagiarizing was that if he had plagiarized, the script would be better. Hell, the PowerPoint didn't even say what he said. He was going off of what he half remembered, and I don't even check the fucking PowerPoint. Like that was how I thought he wasn't plagiarizing. Because I'm looking at this going like, okay, you didn't plagiarize this because it's not even what it said. This is an open book test, and you failed the test. So yeah, I didn't think he plagiarized. If he plagiarized, his script would be better. And I had a night to read all of it. A full night, because he insisted on getting out that quickly. And I'm like, buddy, this is the last script of yours I'll ever look at. And it was. So when people say, Anthony, you reviewed his scripts, you were proofreading. No, I fucking wasn't. I was looking and I was getting eye strain staring at it as my eyes, like, because it's I cannot emphasize this enough. It is a single spaced 7-page singular paragraph. And you ever look at a digital screen for that long with no paragraph breaks, just glazed over? I couldn't, at a certain point I just fucking gave up. I'm like, dude, fucking, you know what? Take your fucking script. I can't keep reading this. So you're probably wondering, why did I still let him on my show, on my streams, if I knew that was there? That's the clowniest clown makeup of them all, isn't it? That's where the clown makeup comes on full blast. Simply put, I convinced myself based on that experience that Noah's problem was not plagiarism. It was ignorance. Pure ignorance. That was my conclusion. He does not know what he's talking about. And so my hope was I could educate him, to build him up so he knows what he's doing correctly. Because he's still going to be on the platform. I thought, why not try to set him up for success? To give him I gave him some basic 101 college essay structure pieces. I didn't send him anti-plagiarism because I didn't think it was plagiarism was the problem. I thought it was structure. I thought if he had a structure to his article, to his writing, he could better formulate his thoughts, better focus in on his thoughts, not get lost in the mesh of his writing. And I was so arrogant to believe I could help with a limited amount of resources to him. I thought it was the right choice. I convinced myself that I could help that While working on my channel, while doing 2 jobs, while raising a son, I thought I could help him. That is the supremest of all clown makeups of all, isn't it? Let's lather it up. Let's get the fucking lipstick on. Let's get the wigs on. I wrongfully assumed that if I just gave him the resources, he could learn. At the same time, I'm talking to Skitty Bitty, who's working on their Gerudo video. At the same time, I'm talking to various other creators. I'm talking to all these different people. And, like, I'm getting this information from them. I'm working with them. You know, and that's academic. They have a brain that's intelligent and knows what they're doing and structures everything. And I'm thinking, okay, I can't worry about Noah right now. He's not my responsibility. He can do his own thing. I'm talking I'm with creatives of a brilliant mind. We're putting together different projects. We're working on new things that are exciting and great, that elevate each other. And I'm thinking, you know, Noah is going to get better. He is going to figure this out. I gave him what he needs to, because I'm thinking that's what I could use in college. I would reference these graphs and stuff, and he'll figure it out. He'll get it. No, he won't get it. That's the arrogance of my part. I thought a few fucking dumb documents could fix that. No, here's some docs. You'll be fine. Well on your way. You're good. You'll figure out how to research. This is the problem of looking the best in people. You blind yourself to the reality that you cannot help everyone. Yeah, you can't help people. But the thing is, he was asking to be educated. He was asking for my help. But I realized he wasn't asking for my help. He was asking for me to do it. He didn't want to improve. He wanted me to do it for him. And he wanted me to do it fast, and he had no respect for my time in the process. And I could deal with that. I think I could understand that if it wasn't for this bullshit today. I was so... Here's the thing. People are going, well, Anthony, how could you sweep for him? How could you defend him? How could you have him on stream all this time? Didn't you see the red flags? Like, I blinded myself to them because I was overworked myself. I have 2 jobs. I have a son. I'm helping out other creators. I'm working on big projects. And in my exhaustion, I gave him a pass. And I thought he's working through things. He's got this. He'll figure it out. He'll get it. He'll grow. Because I think back to my old stuff when I was working with CBR and Valnet. A lot of that stuff is garbage. It's trash. But I got better. I improved because I was directing myself to do better. And yeah, some of that sucks. I got roasted online for a lot of my old shit. But you know what I did? I sucked it up and I grew from it. I took the criticism on the chin. Hell, I'll get criticized for this. And you know what I'll do? I'll shut the fuck up and take it. Fucking make fun of me for it. You're entitled to that. Fuck it. Why not? But you know what I'll do tomorrow? I'll fucking make a video and move on with my fucking life. That's the reality of content creation. You will get criticized. You will be mocked. You will be the main character online. And you know what defines those who last and those who don't? You grow the fuck up. That's how. You take the lessons, even if they're malicious, even if they're hateful, even if they're telling you you should not be on this platform because you're a moron. You take it, you grow from it, you move on and keep making something else. And whatever lesson you have, because there's always a lesson, even in the most malicious, cruel criticism you can get, there is a lesson to be learned, even if it's just to not care so much about what people think. You will be better if you grow from the feedback you get, even if it's hateful. You know what happens when you get down? You push yourself back the fuck up. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. Every great creator on this platform has been knocked down hard at some point in their time, probably multiple times. They've been punched. They've had their necks stomped. They've been kicked and thrown and tossed around like cattle. You know what they do next? They get up. They grow. They think, okay, they hit me this way. I'll move with the punches next time. What Noah did was he got knocked down and asked me to punch for him. He tapped out and made me go in. And then when someone threw a punch at him, I was there to take it on the chin. And if I didn't take it on the chin, I would be in a position that was worse. Let's let some Super Chats play.
At Bachaby super chatted $2. I mean, your TTS pronounces my name Bitchy B.
Fair.
At Simon Robineau super chatted $5.01. Join the club. Anthony Ilotovis gave him the benefit of the doubt, thinking it was an honest mistake on Noah's part.
Oh, thank you so much, Cloudy Prairie, for being a member for 11 months. And Jumpscare. Yeah, and Jumpscare there. And Lucky Dagger, welcome as a member of the channel. You can always get a member. If you join as a member, you can get into my Discord and all the good stuff. Unfortunately, there's nothing really spicy there. We just talk a lot. Or I just don't show up for months on end, apparently, sometimes.
At Amplifier96 super chatted $5. TBH, I liked that the book of Boba Fett rounded out his character and showed he has man with honor and gave a side to the Sand People not often seen.
Mm-hmm.
At Larry Banks 3821 super chatted $10. The worst part is that Noah could have left with an overall good standing for the media industry. He could have just ignored critics of his, post his video on Rav and Jello, and then announce his retirement.
Yep.
At the Salubra Outcast super chatted $1.43. You're a new dad, give yourself grace.
Yeah, I hope so. Well,
at user underscore
nothing else. My son's happy.
underscore CCC super chatted $1.99. Something ant cut the cheese.
Yeah, that was the cheese allegory before, the extended one. I like the super chats kind of build up over time. I'm sorry
at
about
underscore Java underscore 698 super chatted $10. Watching Noah's videos made me feel off about him because quite a few of his points I have heard from TH3 Birdman before, and those videos with those same points came after the specific ETG videos.
Mm-hmm.
At Bachaby super chatted $5. Ant. The World Wildlife Commission has some words about a dead otter. They are talking about a fine.
That's fair.
At Amplifier96 super chatted $2. Thank you for holding yourself accountable, Ant.
Always. Someone has to. No one will hold me accountable but myself.
At Bachaby super chatted $5. Ant. The World Wildlife Commission isn't above jail time. Think of your son.
This is fair.
At Aspiring 2 Storyteller super chatted $2. Saw level plot twist coming?
Yeah, I guess you can say that. You can tell me if you think so.
At Otto Johnny super chatted $5. I agree with the idea with citing sources. I've seen so many videos about content creator busted for plagiarism that I cite my sources all the time.
Yep.
At Cloud Parade super chatted $5. When I cite sources, I include things I might not have read directly in the video because I'm worried I took ideas from it and don't remember. At the Salubra Outcast super chatted $3.59. Get the little critter some Batman diapers, treat on me.
Yeah. I'd be down for that. I give him that. He's mostly Winnie the Pooh stuff now.
At Bachaby super chatted $5.
Loves Disney stuff.
I remember spending like 2 hours with my professor on how to cite a game mechanic. It took us 2 hours and she said, just cite the game as a whole.
Yep, the whole game. Whole citation. Even if it's a small thing, cite the whole thing.
At Whitosh super chatted $5. He plagiarized your excuse, kind of based, Jay.
Exactly. Got a little bug bite in my arm. It sucks. I just
At
noticed it.
Ermanita Rules super chatted $9.99. I was briefly there for that second stream Noah did after that plagiarism outing talking to his supporters. He should have not done that at all, and I even commented in that chat he should not have.
I don't know why I don't know why. I don't get why he kept streaming.
At Glitchaglitch3119 super chatted $4.99. Guess who missed a stream starting once again? Me. Who is this Noah dude and what did I miss? I just got here.
Watch the VOD.
At NB-TNC super chatted $5. If I ever have a kid I am telling them they will never figure it out and they will always have high school level drama in their lives somehow.
Okay.
At Glitchaglitch3119 super chatted $1.99. I've never seen BoJack Horseman.
Get on that. Get on that. It's good.
At Bachaby super chatted $10. Okay, I got the World Wildlife guys to go away, but I had to talk to some witches. How attached are you to that one video? Know what? Don't worry about it, won't miss it.
No one will miss it.
At Big Boss Man 538 super chatted $4.99. It's mistakes like these that make me worry about plagiarizing someone accidentally.
Yep. Oh, welcome as a member for 16 months. Oh, am I the only one to find it odd Noah never addressed Venting Vengeance's extreme ableism? Venting Vengeance says this quiet part out loud more than grifters. Yeah, exactly.
At Johnny
all the
super
time.
chatted
I think I mentioned it once, but that's maybe it.
$9.99. I was unsure about this whole situation and willing to give Noah the benefit of the doubt, but after being informed. If I wasn't unsubscribed, I would have now.
Yeah. That's why I did this. You would never have heard the whole story if you
At
didn't
High
hear it from me.
CHD super chatted $4.99. What Noah did was scummy. I don't think he can come back from this. Though like me, he's a YN with a lot to learn. Hopefully, he finds a better purpose in life.
I hope so. I don't wish harm on Noah. But I don't want to ever hear his name again.
Nicoland super chatted $10. This whole situation is very disappointing. As someone who has an autistic sibling, and who craves proper neurodivergent representation, seeing Noah go down this road is sad. Thanks for sharing this.
No, I'm glad you heard. I'm glad people are responding well to this.
At Nick Wolf 3885 super chatted $5. Sad to say but I think the lesson here is to not educate people not asking for it.
Agreed.
Between Noah and Sai, some people just don't want, are beyond help.
That's the problem. It's arrogance on my part. It really is.
At Vincent Pavarel super chatted $1.90. Hey Aunt, Vincent here.
Oh,
If
hell
you want to have
yeah.
a
Hey, man.
convo on Discord, reach me out. Won't be apt recent drama, but I can talk more apt the jest video drama.
Would love to talk about anything but OtterlyNoah with you. Your video was fantastic and you deserve all the credit
At
in the
Larry
world for that.
Banks 3821 super chatted $20. It's good that people like you take accountability, as we know from the likes of Internet Historian where he plagiarized and hardly any of his friends, associates called him out. So you not doing the same is refreshing.
That is going to be the next part we talk about that's important. So hold that thought. That's good.
At Straw Hat Monty 22,897 super chatted $2. Never will watch BoJack. Show has me depressed AF.
It's a heavy show. It's a depressing show. I think it's worth watching it. I think we need to be depressed sometimes to feel enriched in life, but I think it's a really good show. Oh, thank you for joining us as a member there, the Salary Outcast.
At NB-TNC super chatted $2. This is better than Doomed Yowie.
Is it better than Doomed Yowie? I'm glad. Okay, let's pause for a second. Oh, it's already paused. Good. Unmute? Unpause? Pause alerts. That was weird. I guess it was on. Okay, that's fine. So what do we learn here? Right? I was going to have guests on. I'm sorry, guys in the wings. I don't feel like talking too much longer past this point. I think I've said everything I need to say. So what do we learn here? Well, for one, to quote, you know what I think I should say actually? Let me bring a famous quote up here from a great movie. I think it's important you all hear this quote from the source I'm going to cite right now. Let's take a look. This is it right here.
What do we learn, Palmer?
I don't know, sir.
I don't fucking know either. I guess we learned not to do it again.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. We learned not to do it again. So how do we do that? It's one thing to say, hey, Noah, what you do is terrible. Go fuck yourself. That's not enough. It's not enough. It's not nearly enough. This is not about criticizing Noah, though it turned into that. It's about looking for the mistakes we all made along the way and saying, where did we screw up? How do we not do it again? Well, first off, as we mentioned with the Internet Historian, the first step is to be more critical of plagiarism. I mentioned before that Krim, thumbnail artist on all your videos, never trusted Noah after the initial account. Krim was the smart one. Krim knew what he was talking about. Krim was like, no, he is lying to you. A plagiarist does not have original ideas. We come to this space to tell what we think. Whatever it fucking is. Don't care if you're a fucking drama tuber, you're a video essayist, you like playing video games, whatever. You're here for a reason to show your excitement, what makes you excited. Or make some money. Who cares? Maybe you need to make money, but you're doing it in a way that you are excited about, right? Well, what are you excited about if nothing you're fucking talking about is your own words? You're not saying what you think. You're not saying your ideas. You're taking what someone else said and you're putting it in your own mouth. Where's your passion? Why should we let someone in a commentary setting, in a critical setting, spout out their thoughts if it's not authentic? If it's not their real thoughts, it's someone else's thoughts. They stole it. They're not worth listening to. And thus we have to reject it wholly, immediately, collectively. We're good at that when it's the opposition. We're bad at it when it's our friends. We're very bad at it when it's our friends. You think we would have learned it after James Summerton? Yeah, but James Summerton was easy to mock. It's harder to mock someone who we trust. Summerton had no friends. Summerton alienated other creators. He pissed them off. It was easy to criticize him. There were big creators who already were calling him out before the H. Bomber Guy video, like Sarah said, for example. He was not liked among the critical community. Noah was. And that got him a lot of leeway from people who should have known better faster. Now, Noah's going around saying that the Birdman's on his side. I can assure you, Noah is lying. I'm not saying Birdman is against Noah. The Birdman has not publicly stated his opinion, but I've talked to the Birdman. And I will say that I think Noah is greatly exaggerating the Birdman stance. I will not speak for the Birdman. The Birdman can speak for himself, if he chooses to. But right there, Noah is calling to authority in his language to justify his position to his followers, because they do not have the full picture in front of them. It is not necessary. And here's the thing also. There's a lot of drama guys watching this right now. Quite frankly, my audience is not going to listen to you. They're just not. You're not the people they go to for answers. I am the person they go to for information. So it's my responsibility to bring this to them. You know, we may have, you may have your audience who you talk to, but that's not everyone. That's your audience. And it's not always the audience that needs to hear the message. If someone is acting up in the space, their peers with an overlapping interest in their audience have to speak out. If Nicholas Diorio, Beckett, Westside Tyler even, if you guys talk, the audience who needs to hear it may not ever hear your message. So it's up to the people who are in the same niche to speak out. That's one reason why H. Bomber Guy's video took off, because James Summerton's audience and H. Bomber Guy's audience had a massive overlap. I'm not saying I'm an expert in everything. I'm a fucking moron half the time. As discussion is proven. But it's up to us to discuss this publicly, to present the information to the audience. It is vital that we present the information we know accurately and fairly to our audience so they can make an educated decision on their own. Because if it's coming from one side of the aisle that the audience never travels to, they're never going to hear it. And the people who need to hear it most will just get more isolated. You know, I was online the other day, and I stumbled on a Reddit thread that mentioned me. And someone said, you know, Anthony Grimilio, his fallen off, his content sucks, but I do like his Lily Orchard videos. And someone responded to that, wait, Lily Orchard is controversy? What are you talking about? Even something that we think of as obvious, like, oh yeah, Lily Orchard, she's a creep, a pervert, she's terrible. Even that is news to someone. They had not heard it. They didn't know. They had no idea. And it wasn't like trolling, it wasn't bait. They genuinely did not know what happened with Lily Orchard. They're like, oh yeah, I watched her Steven Universe video years ago. That was good. What happened to her? No clue. Not a single clue. All of us are like, oh, well, Lily Orchard is the Lord, is all this, there's that, this other. Not everyone online is online. And just because your circle of the internet knows something does not mean the circle that needs to know it also knows it. And therefore, it's incredibly important when controversy happens that the people involved actually address it fairly and thoroughly. Because if we don't talk about it to our audience, the people who need to hear it most may never hear it. And thus cannot make an educated decision, and thus people keep getting away with nonsense. People still know Tectone is guilty of SA. Yeah, exactly. Because his peers don't talk about it. They're isolated. The people outside that know he's a predator, but also he's not convicted of SA. He was convicted in civil court. He was held accountable in civil court. We can't say convicted. That's not accurate either. See that right there. If you just saw the reaction videos, like, oh, he was convicted in court. No, he was given. He had to pay damages in civil court. That's not the same thing as a criminal conviction. That right there, that's how information goes. So we have to address it. It's essential. It's our accountability. It's our community. We have to do it ourselves. We cannot rely on other people talking about it. We have to make statements when something happens. It doesn't have to be a whole fucking live stream like this was. But I think it's important this was a live stream so we know not to do it again. And we know what we have to do again next time to not do it again. And that goes for me too. If I am wrong, you better make sure everyone knows I'm wrong. This is not me accepting. If I screw up, people need to know that too. Starting today, I'm going to be holding my side as accountable as I would anyone else. I always believed I did. Clearly, I did not. Starting today, if I disagree with something, I will point it out. Starting today, if you're badly behaved on this side of the aisle, I'm going to mention it just as harshly as if you were my greatest enemy. You're probably not going to have to worry about that, though, because I think you're all really swell people. I think you're all great. It would just hurt to be betrayed a second time. Third time. By someone I trust in this area. Starting today, I think everyone else should too. Everyone else. No exceptions. Because if we don't do that, if we do not hold ourselves accountable, we have no leg to stand on when someone else does it. Who's going to listen to me criticize Critical Drinker if I allow Noah to get away with plagiarism? I am too understanding. That is my fault. I'm too sympathetic. I look for the best in people. And because of that, sometimes I forget the key thing. A lot of people fucking suck. A lot of people are terrible. A lot of people are cruel and manipulative. And they know that I'm a sucker. They know that if they just say the right thing, they'll go along with whatever you say for their own selfish intentions. Don't forget, this all started because Noah threw his artist in front of him as he copyright struck a critic. And quite frankly, let's be honest, this video, even after its promotion from EFAP, from all this controversy, from the audience most geared to listen, it only got 16,000 views in 9 days. 16,000 views, that's nothing. That's nothing before the bump in popularity. We just got like a couple thousand before. Noah was so insecure, he decided to throw his entire career away for a couple people making fun of him. A couple people. Just a few people, and you threw your career away. You put your friends, supposed friends, in risk. You threw your artist under the bus. You threw everyone defending you under the bus. You threw your peers like me under the bus for your ego. Leading up to this stream, a lot of people came up to ask me for interviews, to ask me what I was thinking. And I'm sure a lot of it was to hold me accountable for perceived faults. That's fair. You can hold me accountable for perceived faults all you want. Starting right now, I am not going to mention Noah. I am so tired of this otter that even those who I maybe said, yeah, maybe we'll talk, I don't feel like it anymore. I am so sick and tired of uttering Noah's name that it is giving me a headache even thinking about him. Do not mention his name to me. Do not talk to me about him. I don't want to hear it. Because I'm pissed off. But the only context we can talk about him is in this. What not to do. What never to allow to fester. What cheese should not be fermenting in the back of your closet or in your kitchen or whatever. If you mention Noah, remember it as a learning, as a lesson, not to do it again. And this time, the moment you do it, I will not be so forgiving. I will call you out the same way I would call out anyone on my platform. And because we have an overlapping audience, they will hear it first. Maybe I won't make a full video about it. I might make a statement. But I'm not going to sit around anymore. It's not fair to anyone else. It's not fair to you guys, the audience, because I'm allowing you to be subjected to this nonsense. You got played and had because I did not do enough sooner. That is not going to happen anymore. It's a cautionary tale at best and a nightmare at worst. Am I being overdramatic? Am I being cringe? Yeah, probably. Absolutely. We're all cringe. Fucking deal with it. Live with it or die with it. Who cares? The point is, we have to acknowledge that this cannot keep happening. We have to acknowledge what mistakes we all made. Because it's not just me. I played a bunch by condoning this, by forgiving, by ignoring. But it's all of you too. It's Kino Flex, it's Wargaming Dad, it's all the drama tubers, it's all of us. To some level, okay, that's not true. A lot of you guys did do a lot. Okay, let me walk that back. I'm getting overboard. A lot of you guys did the right thing. And for that I say congratulations, you did the right thing. But for those who didn't react fast enough or were forgiving, we have to keep this in mind. We can only make so many excuses. That's not to say that if they screw up once, they deserve to be thrown to the guillotine. No. If they made an error in a video, okay. They made a cringe video, all right. You know, that worse shit happens. Get back up. Get knocked down, get back up. Fight harder next time. But if they're doing something illicit, immoral, DMCA striking, copy stealing, no. No.
At Dakota Soda super chatted $5. I would kill for Ant to read my scripts and I'm a Minecraft YouTuber. What was Noah thinking?
He wasn't. He expected me to do it, is what he did.
At the Salubra Outcast
He's
super
used to that.
chatted $1.43. I learned my lesson after Edge. At Lucky_Dagger super chatted $2. I learned not to be like the otter guy.
Good.
At King_Rollet super chatted $4.90. Can confirm about people who need to hear something not listening. Called out Andy Pants Gaming to a friend of mine and he somehow fell in deeper.
Yeah. Hell, Andy Pants, you've been called out for the CSAM game. Thank you so much for being a member for 3 months. If you betray Ant, he will old boy you. No tears. Yeah. I guess.
At Jaking5688 super chatted $5. Don't let people being shitty ruin your faith in others.
That's hard for me to do at this point. It really, this one bothered me
At
quite a lot.
user_225_CCC super chatted $1.99. You said you had a point about nose neurodivergence?
Yeah, that was the autism video I edited. That was the script I gave feedback on, I should say. That's what I was
At
talking about.
Meadow Gamer 9497 super chatted $2. Remind me to not anger you, Anthony.
Yeah, that's a commonality, I guess. And again, listen. A lot of what I'm feeling is because I'm personally involved in the story. If you can get something from someone else and they're looking in and going like, oh, it's a narrative, it's a story with ups and rises, betrayals, and all that. It's fun stuff, toxic yaoi. But you know.
At Bachabi super chatted $2. I learned Ant should listen to a bee and a demon.
There we go. But yeah, no, it sucks. It just sucks. I said I was gonna have guests on, but I don't feel like it anymore. I got caught up in this. It was only supposed to be an hour of the stream, but yeah, I'm tired. I'm very tired. I don't know. Hopefully this made sense. I'm sure I'm going to get a bunch of people coming in saying, I got to figure this all out. Because it's a lot of it is, and I'm sure people will be like, oh, hey, send me the screenshots. If I dig up the script, I'll probably post that somewhere, but I have to just go back. I think he overwrote it.
Rules super chatted $1.99. Remind me
Somebody
to
doesn't
never
block
piss
me
you
off of all that, which you probably should. Yeah, don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. Because I will be mad. I'll be extremely upset. Thank you for joining as a reader. Stone Phoenix 772B 28? 2B 28. Yeah, no. So yeah. Sorry, I'm just a little tired right now.
Vincent Pavarro super chatted $1.90. Yeah, you can reach me through Discord, Vincent PAUV. Sadly, you'll hear me mention Noah again, lol, but I want to give more story to the Jester Bell video.
Absolutely. Let me add you right now, Vincent Pav. Let me add you real
At
quick.
Meadow Gamer 9497 super chatted $2. We'll only mention Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Noah now.
Yeah, no, exactly. Thank you. There you go.
At Kyla T super chatted $2. Take a walk and go to bed.
That's the plan. That's the plan.
At _Java_698 super chatted $2. Hope things will get better for you, Anthony.
I hope so too. This week we have a good video coming out too. We have a video where I analyze a YouTube cult, which is fun. I think Noah gave a voice line for that, so I'll have to cut that out and have someone else read it. But it's fun. It's a fun video. Yeah, we'll get there. And we have a Star Wars video coming out around for May the 4th. Hopefully it'll be fun. We also have a collab that's coming out this week. I'll be announcing more of that soon with a YouTuber who I deeply respect. So, yeah, well, we'll see. I'll give you this right now. Shout out to Cessa Lily. Why, you'll find out by the end of the week. And, yeah, no. It's a lot. I'm surprised you all stuck around this long for this stream. I hope I got all the information out. I hope I didn't mislead it and say anything that was not accurate. I tried my best. I'm not a drama guy. I'm just going off of what pissed me off. I'm gonna stick to books from now on and movies and stuff like that. I don't enjoy recounting drama or this kind of stuff, and I don't want to do that. But when it comes down to it, we only have ourselves to hold our audience accountable. And yeah, that's that. All right. Thank you, everyone. Look forward to more very soon. I just realized there is no airflow in this room. This is the heat is on. It is stagnant air. I am actively sweating. I may just go in the shower after this. This is boiling hot. Ooh, a couple super chats coming in.
C3199 super chatted $4.99. To relax you a bit, which is your favorite Heisei Godzilla movie?
Ooh.
My picks are either V's Destroya or V's Biolante.
You know what? I'll tell you this. I always go for versus Ghidorah, but I love
Stone
Biolante.
Phoenix 7728 super
Also,
chatted $3.59. Can't believe I wasn't a member before. I've loved your videos for years.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad. Hopefully, I mean, I'm going to post the Discord link to members only shortly after this. If you missed it during this stream, you can always join as a member. It's always fun. But we just have a fun community. It's not nothing hardcore. We don't do too much there, but it's fun. We just chat. I don't gossip about people. I wouldn't do publicly. But no. Anyway, thank you so much for everyone for watching. I'm sure I'm going to see clips of this and cringe about it tomorrow, but for right now, I think I've said, another super chat coming in, all I need to say on this matter.
At Larry Banks 3821 super chatted $10. Either way, hope that you feel better, and how it goes to show that you have to remain consistent in calling out friends who do bad things just as much as other people. See you in the next stream.
Thank you. But also, one word of advice, if you're ever in controversy, here's a couple things you gotta do from crisis training. Apologize, take accountability, say what you do better, and most importantly of all, shut the fuck up if you don't need to talk. All right, take care, everyone. Have a good night.